Hey, what's up, guys? So we're back playing another combo-heavy deck. Tonight we are going to be playing Spiral. This was a fan favorite in the TCG for a long time. It has since been subsequently hit on several ban lists. The most critical hit being the Quik-Fix to 1, which is simultaneous to what the OCG has as well. Quik-Fix is an insane card, and we're going to get into it in about a second here. Some other notable hits that I want to talk about in case you feel that maybe this is a deck that has potential to be hit on the ban list is SPYRAL Master Plan and SPYRAL Resort. And I'll explain why in a few minutes. So we're going to start by going over the deck list first. What are the primary engines to start with? And then what is follow-up? What does an end board look like in Spiral? How do you win with this deck? So for starters, we're going to get this out of the way. We play 7 hand traps. So the one hand trap is DD Crow. Reason being, this deck has a lot of level 1 monsters, so it can go into Recital Starling, which can search the DD Crow. And you may be doing that frequently in your combos, you may not be, but it is a one-of in a deck is going to mean it's not particularly easy to see in your opening hand, but also not enough to brick your hand. So there's benefits to that. It's about a 3 to 4% chance to draw a one-of in a 40-card deck. It also does have searchability too through Where Arf Thou if you have full combo in hand already. And I'll show you what that looks like tonight throughout the gameplay. The primary Spiral card in the main deck is SPYRAL Quik-Fix. If it's normal or special summon, you can add one SPYRAL GEAR card. We are playing a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 SPYRAL GEAR cards. Now, why is Quik-Fix at 1, you're probably wondering. There's no once per turn on this. Anytime this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a SPYRAL GEAR card. So theoretically, you could deck thin all 7 cards in a single turn if you had the capacity to do so. The deck no longer has that capacity. But when Quik-Fix was at 3, you could realistically search 7 to 10 cards. It was nuts. So they hit it. Now, how does this card really work? So if you normal or special summon it, you can add a SPYRAL GEAR card from your deck to your hand. But if this card is also in the graveyard, you can discard a card, special summon it, so long as you control a SPYRAL Super Agent. So the deck has 4 main deck SPYRAL Super Agents. In actual SPYRAL Super Agent, and SPYRAL Tough is treated as Super Agent while it's on the field or in the graveyard. Then the extra deck has 2 as well. So there's SPYRAL Double Helix, which is also treated as SPYRAL Super Agent. Moving on, where you have SPYRAL GEAR Drone. This is the primary facilitator of how spirals work. So, before we get into anything, SPYRAL GEAR Drone has an effect on normal and special summon. You can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and place them in any order that you so choose. Why is that important? Well, Spiral's main level 4 monsters and its main combo facilitator all require you to declare a card effect when you're activating the card, to declare a card type. So monster, spell, or trap. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, in the case of SPYRAL Super Agent, it will special summon itself from the hand. In the instance of SPYRAL Tough, if you declare a card type and you call it correctly, you can destroy a card your opponent controls. As for SPYRAL Double Helix, if you call the card correctly, you can special summon a Spiral monster from your deck or main or graveyard to a link zone that it points to. So this is really good for getting pieces of your engine out of the deck that you do not already have. Plus, it also has the ability to be treated as SPYRAL Super Agent while on the field in the graveyard. This is critical to how the deck functions. This was the card that put Spiral over the edge in competitive play because it gave it access to one of the best cards in the game, and we're going to get into that in a second here. Now, we also play Magician's Souls. Why are we playing a Dark Magician card in Spiral? Well, for instance, it's another level 1 monster, and it has 2 interactions here that are really important. One being that it can special summon itself by sending a level 6 or higher spellcaster. We're playing 2 for the reason that in case we brick, we can still play with this. So, we're playing Apprentice Illusion Magician, which is typical if you're going to be playing the Souls package, but Spiral have their own level 7 spellcaster monster. That monster is SPYRAL Master Plan. Once per turn, Master Plan can add a Spiral mission card from your deck to your hand, and then if it's sent to the graveyard from field to graveyard once per turn, you can add a SPYRAL Resort and a Spiral monster. to your hand except Master Plan. So what's insane about this is that you realistically will always have the field spell. Mind you, the field spell was hit a couple times. I don't recall its exact status on the TCG ban list or the OCG, but I know SPYRAL Resort was at 1 for the longest time. This is one of the strongest field spells ever made. Reason being, your opponent cannot target other SPYRAL cards you control except for this card, and then once per turn, you can add a SPYRAL monster from your deck to your hand. Now, during the end phase, there is a maintenance cost. You have to shuffle a monster from your graveyard into the deck, or the card is destroyed. Now, what does that mean, shuffle a monster from your graveyard? Because it is a maintenance effect, Konami ruled that you have to shuffle back a main deck monster. You can't put back your extra deck monsters. It's not how it works. Unfortunately, at one time it was ruled that way, and then Konami said, we've been doing it wrong this whole time. Card has to go to the main deck in order for it to count. But that's okay, because we're playing a lot of stuff that can be shuffled back. We're playing, like I said, 7 hand traps, so we're playing the 3 Maxx C because it's critical to this format. Ash Blossom is also just really good as generic. It's okay to draw it. And then on top of that, we always spoke about, we're playing 3 SPYRAL Super Agent. Reason being, it's a good level 4. You can search it off Rhoda, which we're playing. And when it's special summoned by a card effect of a SPYRAL card, so both itself and the big red, as well as the rescue or the assault, and I'll get to how those work in a second, it will pop a spell or trap card your opponent controls. So the deck has a lot of in-archetype removal options. Then SPYRAL Tough we spoke about. Once per turn, you can declare a card type from your opponent's deck, reveal. If you called it correct, you can destroy that card. Really good. This can destroy just about anything. It's really nice. Then we play SPYRAL Gear Last Resort. Now, Last Resort is also a main deck monster. It is a SPYRAL Gear card, so you can search it off Quik-Fix, but you also have the benefit of being able to search it off both the Master Plan or the Resort. You're rarely ever going to do that. You're either going to search it off the Resort or the Quik-Fix. Not often are you going to search it off the Master Plan unless you're absolutely desperate or you already have the SPYRAL Sleeper, which we will get to in a second. So, what does SPYRAL Last Resort do? It says you target one SPYRAL monster you control, equip it from the hand, or if it's on field to that target. And then while it's equipped, the monster that it is equipped to cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. That includes card effects of the monster's own. So, and that's a critical part that I'm going to get to about the end board in a second. And then once per turn, the equipped monster, by this effect, you can send one other card you control, and you can make it attack directly. So it's really good for game ending. Now, we spoke about Apprentice Illusion. You're only playing it as a discard fodder for the souls from the deck, so you can summon this. There's really not much else to say about Apprentice Illusion. There may be times where you want to special summon it to extend further into a larger end board, which is fine. You know, you can do that. It's not necessarily a bad card to draw, so long as you have a way to get souls onto the field because you can have something else to dump. We talked about Master Plan. Once per turn, you can add a SPYRAL mission. We're playing 3 SPYRAL missions. We're playing Assault, and we're playing Rescue. I'll get to those in a second. And then again, when it hits the graveyard, you can add a SPYRAL Resort and a SPYRAL monster simultaneously from your deck to your hand. The main deck boss monster is SPYRAL Sleeper. Now, it cannot be normal summoned or set. You have to special summon it by banishing 3 SPYRAL cards from your graveyard. There's no other way to special summon it. It's the only way to do it. And then once per turn during either player's turn, you can target 1 SPYRAL card you control and up to 2 cards your opponent controls, destroy them. We talked about Last Resort. Last Resort can protect cards from destroying themselves because of its card effect. So, the end goal is to get Sleeper on field with the Resort so that you can just kind of endlessly loop the Sleeper, attempt to pop itself, attempt to pop 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field. Because Resort protects it, Sleeper's only destroying cards your opponent controls. So there's a lot going for it in that circumstance. Unfortunately, if Sleeper leaves the field, because it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you have to destroy your entire board. But there's some silver lining here because you can special summon back a SPYRAL Super Agent from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And we already talked about it. There's 3 different SPYRAL Super Agents in the deck. There's regular Super Agent, there's Tough, and then there's Double Helix. At the cost of having to nuke your own board. It's not great. It does happen. If you see something like Feather Duster, it's often when it happens. Now we're playing a few consistency cards. Foolish Burial. You want to send cards like SPYRAL Quik-Fix to the graveyard. Rhoda. Reason being, we want to have a SPYRAL Super Agent. One reason in particular is that in case we open drones, drone, normal summon effect, reveal, choose the order that we want, then Super Agent can use the effect, special summon itself. Or we can add SPYRAL Tough if we're in a pinch or we're going second. there's benefits to having Rhoda. Having 4 monsters in the deck that you can search at any time is also incredibly nice. We're playing Terraforming because, like I said, this is one of the strongest field spells in the game. So Terraforming is nice because it gives us technically a 4th field spell on top of the fact that Master Plan also gets us access to the field spell. Playing 1 for 1. Reason being, again, we're playing 8 main deck level 1s. It's really good for getting Quik-Fix out. It's also really good for getting SPYRAL GEAR Drone out. There's a lot of stuff to discard in this deck. Sometimes it makes sense to discard the hand trap because you can put them back in the deck, etc. We're playing Where Arf Thou because, again, we want to see the level 1 monsters. They are crucial to the strategy, and you're going to see that throughout the gameplay. So, Where Arf Thou, if you control level 1, add it to your hand. During the end phase, take 2,000 damage. If you did not normal summon the added monster, the 2,000 damage really makes no difference. The only time life points realistically ever matter in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is if you're at a tournament and time is running down, or if you're at 0. So long as you've got 1 life point, you're fine. Then you've got SPYRAL GEAR Big Red. This is another gear card that you can search off the Quik-Fix. It is a premature burial for the deck. You can activate it by targeting a Spiral monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and then if you do equip it to this card, the equipped monster can't be destroyed by battle, but you can only activate 1 SPYRAL GEAR Red per turn. It's not the end of the world because the goal is that this is a premature burial. It special summons a Spiral monster from the graveyard, helps you extend, and in the event that the Big Red gets sent to the graveyard, the monster will still stay on the field, which is also really cool. Now, we talked about Resort. Resort is the nuts card in the deck, aside from the Quik-Fix. It searches you any Spiral, also makes your Spiral cards unable to be targeted. So, one interaction that's kind of crazy. If you've got the Sleeper with the Last Resort, and the Resort is on the field, if they have a card like Twin Twister or a card like Cosmic Cyclone, they have to target the Resort. There's no way around it. Which means if they activate if they activate Twin Twister, they can only pop the Resort. They can't attempt to pop a second card. We're playing SPYRAL GEAR Mission Assault. Reason being, Master Plan can search mission cards. So, during the third end phase, after this card was activated, it automatically destroys itself. That's not a big deal. That's not why you play it. Once per turn, if a Spiral monster you control destroys a monster by battle or card effect, you can draw 1 card. So that works really well in tandem with Sleeper, works really well in tandem with Tough and Super Agent. And it also has the benefit of having a banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a Spiral monster from your hand effect. So it helps you extend. There's a lot of ways to get these spell and trap cards to the graveyard because A, we're playing Quik-Fix, and we're playing Magician's Souls for the reason that we can send up to 2 spell or trap cards from our hand or field to the graveyard to draw cards. So if we open the Souls plus these cards, the Mission, the Assault, or if we have, say, extra Where Arf Thou or so forth, we can discard these cards. Doesn't hurt us because we're drawing 2 into this place, and these can activate in the graveyard. We're playing 2 Call by the Grave because, again, Maxx C is in the format, as is Ash. We need a way to play around those cards. And then we're playing 1 SPYRAL GEAR Utility Wire. The end board is going to result in you having a Utility Wire set, I'd say somewhere between 8 to 9 times out of 10. The condition is you have to control a face-up Spiral Super Agent monster. We talked about it. There's 3 different ones on the deck. And then if you do, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, place it on the top of the deck. This is a compulse, and it's great because it makes sure that the card on the top of the deck is something that you know. So, you set it. Let's say you bounce a monster back to the top of the deck. The next turn, you can do your Spiral combos because you know that the top card of the deck is a monster. It's really good for that purpose. It flows really well, and it's searchable off Quik-Fix, so if we played at 1, you really don't need 2, but if you want to play more control-heavy Spiral deck, you can. And then we play Rescue. Again, it has another activation condition. Destroy this card at the third end phase after the activation of the card. Once per turn, you can target a Spiral card in your graveyard. Spiral monster. Add it to your hand. And then it also has a banish effect. You can banish it from the graveyard, target a Spiral monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So this is a quick effect monster reborn in the graveyard. It's really good for bringing back Quik-Fix. It's really good for bringing back Super Agent to pop a card on the field. Tough, etc. Also double Helix. Now we're going to get into the extra deck now. So that's the main deck. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a question in the chat or in the YouTube video later tomorrow morning. So we're playing 3 rank 1s. Princess Sprite is a really good rank 1. Reason being, it takes 2 monsters, 2 level 1 monsters. We can detach a material, a la the Quik-Fix or the Drone. And then we excavate the top card of our deck. If it's a spell or trap card, we can add it to our hand. Otherwise, we send it to the graveyard. Why is that good? Well, a lot of the cards have graveyard effects. It's okay. And all of the spell and trap cards that we play are usable during both our turn and our opponent's turn. So it's never a bad thing to do that. You know, the worst thing I think in the world that you can do is if you reveal like the last resort and you send that to the graveyard. That kind of hurts. But there is a way to recover the last resort. And I hopefully may have a circumstance where I show you how to do that tonight. But for the most part, it's good to be revealing cards. It's okay to foolish burial monsters because, again, they can come back because we're playing a litany of cards that will special summon from the graveyard, add back from the graveyard, special from the hand, and so forth. That's fine. Now, we played the Recital Starling for another reason. Again, we talked about how there's a lot of level 1s in this deck. With the Recital Starling, we can search DD Crow. This is really good interaction during our opponent's turn, especially with the Eldritch cards that are running around, especially with the Invoked cards running around. It's really good. Just a really good interruption. It's a searchable one of. It's never not dead. You know, it's never dead because it's a quick play. If not, we can also use it to rank 1. So, we also play Assembled Nightingale. Reason being, if we go second, we can prioritize Zeus, nuke the board. You know, we bought ourselves another turn. Linkuriboh is also really good, level 1 monster. This is good for getting Quik-Fix in the graveyard early, but it's also decent protection. Otherwise, you know, it's not critical to the strategy, but otherwise it's really good to get Quik-Fix for drones in the graveyard. It's not a bad card to run by any means, and we have an extra slot. Double Helix we spoke about. This is the card that broke the archetype when it came out in October of 2017 or 18. I want to say might have been 18 at this point, maybe 17. It came out in October in Circuit Break. It broke the game. Spiral was tier 0 for about 3 weeks, and then Konami said, we've had enough. You just took 31 out of 32 at a top cut. They started hitting cards left and right to hurt the consistency. Quik-Fix went to 1. I believe Drones stayed at 3, but then on the subsequent list went to 1. There were a lot of things. Spiral just started getting whacked. But Quik-Fix, Double Helix in this game is untouched, as it is in the TCG, and I believe in the OCG as well. And again, it has the effect it can turbo out your cards like Master Plan, which are really hard to summon otherwise. You don't want to be tribute summoning for this card or be in a circumstance where you have to assault to summon this card. Double Helix does that for free, so long as you call the top card of your opponent's deck correctly, and 9 times out of 10, you're always going to do that. There's hardly ever a circumstance where you're going to be shotgunning it and not know what you're calling. So I want you to pay attention to that when you watch the gameplay tonight. Then we play a basic Nightmare package. We play 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Unicorn. Reason being, it's really good spot removal, and they also put cards in the graveyard. Like I said, we like to discard. That's okay. We also play IP Masquerena for if we want to go first and have a follow-up play. You know, something like IP Masquerena, use itself and another card to go into Nightmare Unicorn, shuffle a card our opponent controls back into the deck. You know, not a bad play. We also play Selene Queen of the Master Magicians. Reason being, there's a couple spellcasters in the deck. If we need to go for access code late in the game, Selene does that really well. There's a lot of spell cards in the deck too. So, Selene is easy to make. She will special summon a spellcaster back from the graveyard. And then we can go to access code to try to win the game. Boral Sword is another way to go into game. Really good monster. It can't be destroyed by battle. Once per turn, it can target a card, switch it to defense, and it can make a second attack. It also gains attack equal to the first monster it declares an attack on. It gains half their attack. It also halves their attack. So it's a guaranteed 3,000, and then on top of that, sometimes it's a 4,500 swing directly, so forth. Boral Sword is nuts. It's really good in this deck. Then we play Appaloosa. This is probably the ideal first turn end board, is to have an Appaloosa with 3 to 4 negates. It's really easy to make. I'm going to show you how to do it. Just really good general monster negate. You can use it multiple times you can use it once per chain, but you can use it multiple times during your opponent's turn. It's really good. If you lose it, so be it, but it's there for protection. Otherwise, your opponent's going to struggle against the Sleeper, the Resort, and the Last Resort combo. That's typically what they're going to struggle against. The Appaloosa is there to make sure that they can't clear that, and then the Sleeper is going to sweep them. That's essentially what's going to happen. And we already talked about the access code, one of the strongest link monsters. It's a link 4. You need 2+ effect monsters, and your opponent cannot respond to the activation of its effects, so long as the summon is successful. So, it's nuts. It's a game ender. It's really good. We're playing it because it's generic, and the deck can make it easily. So, now we're going to get into this. I'm going to post a written list in the YouTube video tomorrow morning. So if you like this list, and I'm not saying this is the ideal way to play it. This is just the way that I play it. So if you like this list, I will have that in the description of the video. Take a look at that. So we're plat 3. Played a little bit last night, play testing this list. We're going to get right into this. The other night we crawled to plat 4 with Tritron. You can watch that on my YouTube replays. So we're going first. Ideally, this deck wants to go first. It can go second. It's not the best going second. It's way, way, way better going first. Now, I would consider this deck rogue to tier 3. It loses to a card like Droll and Lockbird. Doesn't have much follow-up through that. So, we're looking at our hand. What do we have? Priority pass to our opponent. They pass back to us. That might mean they have Maxx C. So, we got to be careful here. So, first, we're going to activate Magician's Souls. I'm going to special summon this. And we're going to ditch the Apprentice Illusion because we want to keep the Master Plan in the deck. For the Resort, he has the Maxx C. He's got something. I don't know why he would. If he has the Maxx C, I don't know why he wouldn't have changed it right there. That's a little suspect. So, we're going to 1-for-1 here. Instead of going for the drones. Nah, actually, we can go Quik-Fix. We're going to pitch the Tough. That's okay. So, if he's got the Ash and the Maxx C here, we're okay. Because we have Ash and Called By. So, we're going to summon the Quik-Fix. Quik-Fix on summon will search a SPYRAL Gear card. We're going to search the drones here so we can change the order of our opponent's deck so we know exactly what we're calling for the double helix. So, drones to hand. We have not normal summoned yet because, again, the Magician's Souls is a special summon from the hand, and we special summon the Quik-Fix off the 1-for-1. So, here comes drone. Drone's effect on summon. Opponent's got something. What does he have? Ooh, Lava Golem. Eee, do not want him getting Lava Golem. So we're going to put the Called By. So this is critical. If you're going to play this deck on Master Duel, you need to know that 1 means it's going to the top of the deck, 2 means it's going to be the second card from the top, and 3rd means it's going to be the 3rd card from the bottom. So we don't want him getting Lava Golem. Lava Golem breaks our board. That's problematic. Now we're going to double helix here. We're going to double helix effect, and we're going to call spell cards. We know we're giving them a Call by the Grave. Boom, there's the Call by the Grave. Now double helix will resolve. Special summoning the Master Plan. Yes. Boom. Now, what do? We don't have to Quik-Fix yet. We also don't have to drones yet. So we're going to Master Plan first. Master Plan on field will search a SPYRAL mission card. The first mission we're going to search is the Rescue, because we're going to discard it off the Magician's Souls to draw a card. Reinforcement of the Army. It's a pretty good top deck. Going to activate Reinforcement of the Army. We're going to search our Super Agent. Now, there's a couple things we can do here. We can activate the Quik-Fix, which we're going to do. Reason being, we want to search a card. We want to search the DD Crow. We're going to discard the Super Agent because the Super Agent is not useful to us in this moment. And we're going to get more advantage because the Quik-Fix is going to go +1, plus we will get the card off the Recital Starling. So, Quik-Fix summon. We're going to add the Big Red. Reason for adding the Big Red, we can special summon back the Quik-Fix next time, and we don't lose anything for doing so. So, Recital Starling first. Recite a startling effect, detach, summon the detach the quick fix, add the DD Crow from deck to hand. So now we have another degree of interruption. I don't even know if we need to keep this because we could go for the quick fix if we wanted to. So, I'm looking here. Got a couple things. We want to keep the rescue for bringing back the master plan. So in this moment, we're going to go for... We're going to activate the big red here. Bringing back the drone. Now we're not going to change the order here. I'm going for the Princess Sprite play. You don't have to do this. Just trying to show you how Princess Sprite works with the deck. We're going to go quick fix, and we're going to discard the Called by the Grave. We know he doesn't have Maxx C at this point, and we know he doesn't have Ash because he would have used them by now. So I can live okay knowing that we're discarding the Called by the Grave. Quick fix will search, adding us the utility wire. Now, if he hits us with Nibiru, we're still okay. Reason being, we get the master plan effect, plus we get the resort. So, Princess Sprite, I'm going to detach, and we're going to detach the quick fix. Make sure to detach the quick fix so you can use the effect again if you so choose. Where Arf Thou? Cool. Gives us another card to discard. If we wanted to, we don't control level 1 at the moment, though, but we could discard it for the quick fix if we wanted to. At this moment here, I'm going to prioritize the Appaloosa. This will stop the Nibiru. We don't want to use double Helix as 2 materials here. We want to use it only as 1. This way the Appaloosa, we get the most value out of it's going to be 3,200 attack. Boom. Master Plan is going to trigger. We're going to add SPYRAL Sleeper, and then we're going to add the field spell. Resort right here will search us the last resort. To last resort to hand. Now we're going to special summon the Sleeper. And we need to be meticulous about what we're banishing here because it is important. Okay? So we're going to banish the drone. We're going to banish the big red, and we are going to banish the tough. Sleeper hits the field. Does our opponent have anything? Priority keeps getting passed back to them. He's thinking now. If he has Appaloosa and Infinite Impermanence, we are in trouble. We knew it was activatable early. So I'm a little skeptical about what he's got. If Last Resort works here, then I think we're good. We're in the clear. Yep, Last Resort's going to go. Cool. Now, I'm going to do something that's a little unorthodox. Maybe this is not the best play. But we're going to use Rescue here to summon out the double Helix so that we have monster on field that will trigger utility wire. Because we didn't open well enough to be able to summon the super agent from our hand. So, opponent's got something. And I want to search a quick fix. I want to use quick fix now to search the big red for next turn. Because that'll be critical for our follow-up in the event that he breaks this. It also means we'll be left with 2 monsters if he does Lava Golem us. So we have some degree of protection. We could also go into Link's Karibo here. So what we're going to do is we're going to link off the Quick Fix, summon the Link Karibo to protect the double Helix. And we've got the big red next turn as follow-up to summon back the double helix. So, Linkuriboh. We're going to set the utility wire, and then we have a handful of degrees of interruption. So, what do we have? We have somewhere between 3 to 4 negates with Appaloosa. We have a +2 pop with Sleeper. We have a Compulse that will shuffle any card to the top of our opponent's deck, and then we know exactly what card it is. We also have the Ash, and we have the DD Crow. So that's 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 degrees of interruption, roughly. Plus, we also have the Linkuriboh in the battle phase. Pass to our opponent. What do we know they're top decking? It was the Call by the Grave from earlier. But first, the Resort has to pay its maintenance cost that we spoke about. I'm going to put back the Super Agent. This way we have something to top deck or search off the Resort. So, here we go. Draw phase. We know our opponent's drawing into Called by the Grave. It doesn't do anything for him in this moment, although it could protect it from the Ash of the DD Crow. Feather Duster. Yikes. It's exactly what we were afraid of. Okay, that's fine. Have to let that rock. So now Sleeper has to prioritize popping the Spiral double helix. Otherwise it runs... Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Jesus. Alright, there's nothing we can do about that. We're playing against somebody who's playing a strictly go second deck. So Sleeper will trigger now, summoning out Super Agent. Does our opponent have something to respond? Oh, destroy as many cards as possible. It doesn't resolve, actually, because we're not destroying anything. Send this card, activate. Yikes. Okay, we actually lose. We lose because we played against a Numeron deck. Okay. There is no way to play around this. This sends for cost, so Ash Blossom is no good against it. This is going to summon 4 cards. It's going to shotgun the DD Crow. I don't think that's how it works. And, yeah. We lose here because he's going to summon this. What's going to happen is he's going to summon a number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Each time one of them declares an attack, the attacks of all the other ones get doubled. So you're going to take 1,000, then you're going to take 2,000, then 4,000, then 8,000. It's lethal guaranteed. Hey, Alex, I'm glad you enjoy the commentary, man. This is what I like to do. I like to give you the commentary, explain exactly what I'm thinking and how the deck functions, because I know you guys have dust, you have gems that you want to spend, and I want you guys to see how the deck works before you go and commit anything to this. I think there are better decks to play than Spiral, but I personally love Spiral, so that's why I'm giving you guys this replay. The D-Crow is going to trigger, Numeron Network is still going to resolve, and we're going to proceed to the scoop phase here, because, like I said, he's going to summon 4 monsters, and they're all going to swing for 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000. We're going to lose. The only way we could have won that is if we had DD Crow. Not DD Crow, Ghost Ogre. Or if he didn't rip into both the Lightning Storm and the Harvey's Feather Duster. That's pretty good. And he was debating us the whole time by having his toggle on. Alright, we're going first again. Alex, are you talking about this deck? Are you talking about Spiral, or are you talking about another deck that I've shown on stream? Awesome. So, yeah, so Alex, this is going to be super helpful for you, bud. And like I said, if you go to my YouTube tomorrow morning, the deck and the replays will be posted on there with the full list written out for you. So obviously you have it there in the sidebar on the stream, but if you want the full card list, I'm going to type it out for you in the description of the video. So what do we have here? Well, we got the utility wire, we got the mission rescue, we got the 1-for-1, we got the Super Agent, we've got the Ash. Because of the hand we have right now, we're okay so long as that he does not have the Ash Blossom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this smart, actually. I'm going to say that we don't need the Ash. And the reason being is we can still combo in the event that he Ashes or Effect Veilers, whatever we send. So we're actually going to summon the Quik-Fix here. That worked out. He doesn't have the Ash Blossom, but if he has the Effect Veiler, then we played at least around it with the Super Agent. He doesn't have that. Okay, cool. So we're free to kind of do whatever we want now. We're going to add the drones to guarantee that we activate the double helix properly. So drones on summon, reveal. He's playing pendulums. I want him to have the Endymion go to hand. I don't want him to get the Master Cerberus or the Power Mastery, because that would search whatever he wants. This I don't care so much about, because this would be able to summon out a handful of monsters and things we get out of control rather quickly. We don't necessarily stack up all too well against this deck, but we can make do. What we need to do for this particular matchup is prioritize the Sleeper. The Appaloosa isn't as critical to this one, but it's still helpful. So we're going to call monsters because we know we put the Master Endymion on top of the deck. So we're going to summon out the Master Plan, like we spoke about. Now you need to make sure you hit yes there, because otherwise you add the Master Plan to hand, and that's problematic. You don't want to do that. So Master Plan here is going to search another mission, Rescue, because we have 2 cards now we can discard off the Quik-Fix. So in this moment, Quik-Fix, effect, declare, send the Rescue. Quik-Fix on summon will search the big red, so that we can summon one back for free without having to use our Rescue. But right now we want to use the Rescue that's in graveyard to bring back the drones, so that we can get full value out of the Princess Sprite and the Recital Starling. Boom. Don't need to change the order of the deck. We already know what's on top. It's the Master Endymion. So we're going to go for the Recital Starling first. Sure, we'll use the effect. We're going to boost up this double helix. Doesn't make a huge difference, but in the event that we end with a double helix, it's okay. So we're going to detach the Quik-Fix here. Searching the DD Crow. Now we talk about that. We have Searchable Disruption in this deck. It's kind of nuts. There's a reason this deck was tier 1 in the TCG for the longest time. Well, actually, the shortest time. Konami really did not like this deck being as good as it was, and that's on them for making it that way. So we're going to discard Rescue. Summoning out the Quik-Fix. Quik-Fix will trigger on summon to add card we don't have. We're going to add the Last Resort here. Normally you could do that off the resort itself, but here Quik-Fix is going to do it because we already have the utility wire in hand. Normally you'd add the utility wire there. So because we need to get another card in the graveyard to be able to use the Princess Sprite, we're actually only summoning the Appaloosa here with... Yeah, we're only going to summon the Appaloosa here with 3 material. So we're going to use the Master Plan, we're going to use the Super Agent. Sorry, the Double Helix. It's treated as Super Agent, that's why I keep getting confused. So Appaloosa is going to summon here. It's going to go to 2400 attack. Master Plan will trigger. This will protect it from the Ash Blossom. He doesn't have it. So we're going to continue. We're going to add the Sleeper here. And then we're also going to add the Resort. Simultaneous add. We get both. It's a 2-for-1. We're then going to Rescue. Rescue's going to summon back the drones. Again, we don't care about changing the order of the deck. It's not important to our strategy at this moment, because we already know what's on top. It's probably the best thing we can give him. So now we're going to go Princess Sprite. Going to summon the Princess Sprite in attack. You can summon in defense. It's just going to get linked off anyway for the most part. Princess Sprite, detach. It's going to excavate the top card. If it's a spell or trap card, add it to our hand. If it's a monster, it goes to the graveyard. Called by the Grave. Really cool. This is good. Now we've got at least 4 forms of disruption, assuming the Sleeper is good to go. So I actually want to link off the Princess Sprite. I think. Or actually, did we leave it on field? No, we're going to leave it on field. So Resort here. Now, Resort does not have to add the Last Resort, because we already have it. So the Resort is actually going to search the SPYRAL Tough here for next turn as follow-up. This way we'll have both Super Agent and Tough. We also have not activated the Big Red yet. I think actually we could go for the IP Masquerena. play if we wanted to. Yeah, we're going to do that. So, Super Agent here, special summon itself. We know it's monster card. We're going to go for IP Masquerena. Super Agent's going to hit the field. Then we're going to go Big Red. Big Red is going to summon out the... Oh, no, actually, we need to... No, we're doing this right. We're doing this right. We need to summon out the double helix here, not the master plan. Reason being is we need to be able to have access to the utility wire. So, what's going to happen now? Well, we're going to go for IP Masquerena using the Super Agent and the Princess Sprite. So, ideally what's going to happen is we're going to utility wire, then go into Unicorn if we have to, using the IP Masquerena and the double helix. So now we'll summon Sleeper. Gonna summon it all the way over here. Doesn't really make a difference, but we need to make sure we're banishing 1, 2, and 3. At this point, the master plan is no longer critical to the strategy, but the quick fix still can be. So banish, banish, banish. Summon this. Boom. Then last resort, equip itself to the Sleeper. Not this double helix. I need to prioritize that. It always has to be equipped to the Sleeper. Then we're going to set 2 cards. He does not know what these 2 set cards are because he did not see us search the utility wire. And we're not going to activate the quick fix engrave. So we're going to pass on this. Now, we have to pay the maintenance cost, which means that we can put back the Ash of the quick fix. I'm going to elect to put back the Ash Blossom. Reason being, we can still make use of the quick fix next turn because we can search a Spiral Super Agent. We already have the Tough in hand, but we're likely going to have to discard that if we go for the Unicorn play. So if the Resort is still on field, we can then search the Super Agent that's still in the deck. Magical Institution, each time a face-up Mythical Beast Pendulum monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, place 2 spell counters on this. That's fine. He's got 2. Interesting. Okay. Doesn't really make a difference. There's the Master Beast Cerberus. Here's what we're going to do here. We're going to activate 2 things. We're going to go Sleeper first. Target itself. Target both of the Magical Institutions. And then we're going to shuffle back the Cerberus with the utility wire. Now, there's no spell counters on that. That's why we were successfully able to do that. That was the only time we could have been able to do that successfully. Because it has to remove a spell counter from the card to protect itself. And he lost the Master Cerberus, so we've only got 3 cards here. The Servant of Endymion is a good card, but we haven't lost yet. Now, if he starts getting some spell cards, it's kind of a problem. He can remove 3 spellcasters, special summon that, and 1 from the great deck. We're really not in trouble here. He's going to Pendulum Summon. Sure. Jackal King. Okay. Doesn't really do anything for him here. He can clear the IP Masquerena, and that's about it. So, we'll let him do it. He can't clear the double helix. Reason being, the Big Red protects it from being destroyed by battle. He's going for the Appaloosa. So he's going to crash the Appaloosa and the Jackal King. Sure. That's not a problem because we win next turn. The Sleeper will pop both of these. And then we can swing for game. We're close to it. So, draw for turn. Actually, we don't even have to go for Sleeper. We can just do it this way. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go Resort here. Searching the Super Agent that we don't already have in hand. We don't even have to use the Sleeper here. So, Super Agent to hand. Now, we know we put a monster card on the top of his deck because we have the utility wire. So, Tough is going to summon here. Tough is going to trigger. We're going to call monsters. We're going to pop the Endymion first. The Servant of Endymion first, sorry. Because it has a spell counter on it. We don't want to risk putting more spell counters on it in the event that we whiffed there. And now Super Agent will special summon itself because we called monster. And again, because it's summoned by the effect of a Spiral monster, it will pop a spell or trap card our opponent controls. Pendulum monsters are treated as spell cards when they are in the scale zone. So this is going to pop the Master Endymion. How much damage is that? 2,800. It's going to be 4,700. then it's going to be 6,600 game. We have lethal after 3 turns. We didn't even need to use the Appaloosa. That's what's crazy about that. We did that with 2 pops with a sleeper and a utility wire. No Appaloosa needed. And I BM'd him. I'm sorry. You guys are judging me on that. I didn't have to attack with the IP Masquerena. That was a BM. I had lethal otherwise without it. So, apologies. I like to play this fair. I like to play it respectfully. So that's our first win of the night. We're 1-1 through 2. Let me know if this is making sense for those of you who are watching tonight, because this can get kind of complicated. The lines are not always there. Sometimes it's a guess and check deck. You have to call it correctly because maybe you don't have access to the drones, or you have to use the super agent and you're guessing from the hand. But does that combo make sense? You want to end on the Appaloosa plus the sleeper, and you want to have the Appaloosa protecting the sleeper from monster effect removal, stuff that doesn't target. That's what the Appaloosa is there for. So stuff like Nibiru, it's really good for. Something like what's something else that doesn't target? Zeus. It's really good for stopping Zeus, like that kind of stuff. Good. I'm glad you guys are appreciating this. So, playing against birds. For those of you who know, I started the channel as a bird deck. We've since shifted over to some other decks that I really like. So he's got full combo so far. And I'm going to be honest, we don't have the means to play through a full bird deck combo. Searching the wagtail there, that's not the right move. Maybe Aaron doesn't realize what he's doing. So what he should have done there off the Cobalt Sparrow is he should have searched the Barrel Canary instead of the wagtail. Because what he wasn't able to do is on the Recite Starling here, he sort of searched the Nerval. So he sort of searched the Nerval. He normal summoned the Sapphire Swallow, so the wagtail is kind of dead in hand. He's searching the Turquoise Warbler. Okay, he doesn't have combo. I don't think he knows the deck like I do. So what he should have done is he should have kept the Sapphire Swallow in hand. He should have searched the Nerval there. And that would have given him... Actually, I guess... Yeah. This isn't the right way to do it. He's not going to have the Utopia Draco feature. What he's going to be able to do is he's going to be able to end on the Samorg. Turquoise Warbler because it's special summon, special one from the hand or graveyard. So he's going to summon the Wagtail here, likely searching the Bird Call. Summoning the Recital Starling. Why are you doing it that way? He can summon from the hand or the graveyard with this effect. So he should have summoned the Wagtail. Then he would have gotten the Bird Call, and he would have been able to go into another Exceed monster to then be able to do Utopia Draco future plays. Instead, he's hoping for the best here, and he's going to end on a Apex Avian, which is not enough to stop us. He actually gave us the ability to play through this by doing it this way. So like I said, I don't think he really knew what he was doing. And because of that, assuming he's got no Maxx C or anything like that, we're going to punish him. So he put back the card he drew, which means that it's probably not a hand trap, which means that there's likely a hand trap in here somewhere. Okay, he has the Barrel Canary, so he can still go for the Utopia Draco future, or he can summon the Ensemble Blue. So he did have the Barrel Canary to begin with. So we know he's got a Wagtail in hand. That's fine. And there's one unknown card. Now, a card like Barrier Statue here. Is he summoning the Recital Starling? Okay, so that means he's going to search DD Crow most likely, which would hurt because that means we don't get value off the Quik-Fix. He's boosting up the Samorg so we can't run over it. That's fine. So he's detaching here. Like I said, he's probably going to search so there's a couple things he can search. He can search any of the bird monsters, right? Any of the Luceric monsters, that's fine. He could also search the Nerval if he's playing a Tri-Engine. We haven't seen it yet. He's searching another bird. He's already used the effect of Sapphire Swallow. We don't care so much. Likely here, he will now go into Utopia Draco future if he's playing it. Detaching another? Oh no, yeah. So here comes the Utopia Draco Future. So he's got to summon Utopia Future first, Draco Future, and then we're gonna have so essentially we're playing through two negates. If he's playing the Apex Avian or if he's playing the barrier statue. If he's playing the barrier statue, we're actually okay, and I'll explain why. Ooh, we set a card. That means it could be an infinite permanence or a forbidden droplet. Could also mean it's Tri-Brigade Revolt. It's not ideal. Playing barrier statue. Okay, that's fine. He should have summoned it to a zone that some Morg pointed to. So, how do we play through this? There's a couple ways we can do this. We have the 1-for-1, so we can get to the quick fix and the drones pretty easily here. We also have the SPYRAL Resort, so we're going to do Resort first. This way he can't infinite impermanence any Spiral monster we summon. So we're going to add the Super Agent here. I want to see what this is. We can't special summon it, so first we have to go Tough. So we're going to take a gamble here. We're going to call Monster because he's playing a bird deck. I want to pop the barrier statue. He should negate this here with the Utopia Draco Future, and he does. Actually, we should have attacked first. What am I doing? Oh, wait, what am I doing? I misplayed. We should have attacked first. Holy crap. Oh, it's late. That's on me. Shit. Why the hell did I do that? Oh, misplayed hard there. I should have normal summoned Tough, not attacked, gone barrier statue. Then in main phase 2, we would have been able to full combo over top of this. So what should have happened, and I'm going to talk you through this exactly. So Tough, normal summon, swing over the barrier statue because it's unprotected. We can then special summon cards. So what we should have done, we should have gone Super Agent, then baited whatever this is, then tried to Tough, pop it if we call it wrong. And then we have drones, and we can go in double helix fine. He would then have to Utopia Draco Future anyway to protect this. I don't know why I did it that way. Because we could 1-for-1 into the drone here, but it doesn't make any sense to do it that way. And there's nothing that's stopping him from just killing us next turn. So I blundered that. It is... Oh, man. I predicted his play nearly perfectly, and I still walked right into it because it is late. So that's on me. Ignore that one, guys. I saw it, and I tunnel visioned into just activating the Tough effect. And I threw there. So that's a throw. We wouldn't have won that turn, but we would have put ourselves in a position where he couldn't have come back from it. Especially with what we knew he had in his hand. We would have not been able to clear the Draco Future. I guess we could have with something like Unicorn. But it wouldn't have been that great. So we're going first here. We've got full combo. So we're going to go Magician Souls. We're going to summon it, and we're going to send the Apprentice Illusion. We're not sending the Master Plan here because we want to summon that off the double helix. There are some circumstances where you open the big red, and you can send the Master Plan and then get some value off of it. But first what we're going to do is we're going to go Where Arf Thou. We need to search the drone here because we need to be able to put a card in the... We need to be able to stack the top of the deck. And we're going to draw some cards here because now we can actually get some value off of Magician Souls effect. So, ooh, what is this? Tenyi Metal Foe? We're going to give him counter because it's a trap, but he can't activate it during his first turn. We can go Where Arf Thou again. It doesn't make any sense to do that. So we're going to go Resort here, and we're going to search the Super Agent so that we can go into double helix. But before we do anything, we're going to get another Resort here. So we're actually going to go pitch the Where Arf Thou and the Resort so we can draw 2 cards, see what our top deck is here. Let's get another Resort and a Tough. That's really crazy, actually. So Super Agent, we're going to call Trap. We know we put a trap on the top of the deck. Damn it. I'm really upset about that last game. I really wanted to show you guys how to play this going second. Because we opened the perfect hand to counter that, and I just blundered it. We'll get another shot. So, summon double helix here. We know Trap's on the top of the deck. Got the drone. We don't need to activate the drone. Drone can banish itself another Spiral card to add back a Super Agent, but that's not something we want to use right this second. So, we're going to summon out Quik-Fix here. No, oh shit. Fuck. I wanted to summon out Master Plan. Why did I do that? Ah, it's alright. It's alright. We're okay. We're okay. We're just doing this a little funky. So we're going to resort here, and we're going to search the Master Plan. I'm going to go for Recital Starling. I'm going to use the Quik-Fix and the Magician's Souls. Now we want to make sure we don't block the double Helix zone. It's just kind of a critical rule of playing Link monsters. Now that you can summon Exceed, Synchro, and Fusion anywhere. And our opponent's, I think, scooping. Yeah, our opponent didn't want to play against SPYRAL. I don't blame him. So that puts us at 3-2 on the night. It should be 4-1. All right, we're gonna jump back in here. 6 wins to Plat 1. I wonder if we can get to it tonight. I'm gonna call this short at about 11:30. So that'll give us about 2 hours of content. So we're going first again. If we get first again, next game I'm gonna elect to go second to show you guys potentially how to play through a board with the SPYRAL deck. So opening hand, we have access to the combo, and it's actually pretty decent access to the combo, but it's at the cost of our normal summon. Hey, what's up, Snivy? So we're gonna add drone here. Drone effect on normal summon is gonna look at our opponent's top deck. Let us change the order here. Let's see what they have. They're playing Adignisters, so we're gonna give them the Ash Blossom because that's a brick in their hand going second. Super Agent effect. We call monster. What's critical here is we have the Maxx C that lets us potentially deter our opponent from going full Adignister combo, because we really only play one way to deal with that. Actually, two if you want to count the Boral Sword. So that Adignister arrival is tough to deal with. Now we're going to have to double Helix here. We're going to summon out the Master Plan. It's not really an ideal hand for the most part. We're still going to get to Sleeper, which is nice, but we're just not going to get to it in the optimal way. And I'll explain why in a second here. So we're actually going to search the Assault instead of the other Rescue because we did not open Ideal. So we're not going to summon out the double Helix here. Instead, what I want to do is we're going to have to burn the Nightmare Unicorn early here. Unless we go into another double Helix, but we only play the two. We want to keep that one in there just in case as a fallback. Or we could go for Nightmare Cerberus. Yeah, let's go for Nightmare Cerberus. It just gives us the utility of having the Nightmare Unicorn during our opponent's during our next turn, because we're not going to be able to win this turn, I don't think, outright. But we're still going to get the Master Plan, which is going to search us the Sleeper and the Resort. He's got something that's activatable now. That likely means it's Nibiru in this moment, which if he has it is really unfortunate. But I think we have enough to play next turn. Yeah, he's got something activatable. If we could have gone to Appaloosa, we wouldn't be able to stop that, which is kind of unfortunate. So we're gonna go. Do we have enough in the graveyard to banish? Yeah, that's not even looking pretty. We need to make sure we leave at least one of the main deck monsters in here. So likely the Master Plan, because we need to pay the maintenance cost in Resort. So add Last Resort to hand. If he nibs us on the Summer and the Sleeper, we're going to set the Rescue. We're going to bluff that we have back row. So we're gonna go 1, 2. Yep. Now I'm not banishing the double helix there. Yeah, he had the Nibiru. Ugh, not having access to the Appaloosa there was a pain in the ass. So because Sleeper is not destroyed by card effect, we get to keep the Resort, which is fine. And it's a fairly big token. It's not the biggest. So we're going to set 2. These are both... 2 of these are bluffs. The Rescue is going to add back a Spiral card during our opponent's turn. So we're going to add back the Sleeper to our hand. And we've got the Maxx C. Hopefully that deters him from playing through this, which I would hope, but sometimes people take the risk. So we're going to see. We also have the Called By to stop some of the shenanigans like the Doyon or the Barubu, which is the green one. So we have ways to interrupt the general Ad Ignister combo. I meet you, reveal 1 Cyberse at... Sure. So he's going to pay life points here in the end phase. And he's going to reveal the Phoenix, if I recall. Yeah. No, the Power Code Talker. What? They play this? So that's the Aichichi. On the summon of Aichichi, we have to chain the Maxx C here. Because then he's going to go into Dark Infant, search the AI land. And we're going to chain the Rescue to protect the Maxx C. Adding the Sleeper to hand. So he added the Doshin. He's going to link summon into the Dark Infant here. Again, this is not the right thing to do. You don't give your opponent cards. He doesn't know what hand traps we're playing. This is a mistake. Don't ever take the Maxx C challenge. This, it's just not worth it. Because what he doesn't realize is we can interrupt him with the Called By. There's a way to kill this entire combo with the Called By, if I recall correctly. We need to hit the green one or the Transcode Talker. So here's the Doshin. The Doshin's going to special summon itself. I'm going to draw another card. I mean, he'd be an idiot because he could draw, we could draw into our own Nibiru. We're not playing it, so unless he's stream sniping me, and then he's just taking a huge gamble. The play right here is the Sun. Is he going for Transcode already? Yeah, he is. Why? That's not the move. He's got another card to summon here. He's gonna add an AR Spell Trap card, sure. So I already used the I Meet You. The Idol Reborn is a monster reborn. What are you targeting here? No. You don't get that. He can still access code though, and summoning out the Dark Infant. He might just be going for the Arrival now. Or is Arrival 3+? 3+ monsters with different attributes. Link 6, he doesn't have enough material. It's gonna be access code, yep. So access code's gonna trigger, it's gonna go to 5300 attack. I don't think he can kill us this turn. He's gonna nuke the board. Oh, sorry, he's gonna destroy 2 cards. He's going to destroy the resort. That's fine. And he's going to likely destroy the Nibiru token. Or is he going to destroy the assault? He's going to destroy the assault. Okay. That lets us play with the assault next turn. It gives us a free summon from the hand. So at this moment, I think his turn kind of stops. Unless he can summon another Ad Ignister monster from his hand using the field spell, the AI land. Then he could go into the Rival Cyberse. But I don't think he has the gas. We know he added the Idol Reborn. We stopped that. He's added the I Meet You, so he's gonna take 2,300 in the end phase. Yeah, he's this is what he's got. So I think we're fine. What is this? So he's adding the I Meet You back for next turn. That's fine. He's gonna clear the Nibiru token. Main phase 2. What did he banish? The Gasari, okay. He's gonna miss out Blink Grebo. This is gonna negate a trap card. It doesn't really do anything for him this moment. This is likely going to be something activatable like a called by or a actually it's not gonna be called by because he would have changed it to the Maxx C. This is likely gonna be an infinite permanence type card. I think they have an in-art type trap card that works pretty nicely. So we're gonna activate Reinforcing the Army here and we're gonna search the Tough. It's got Ash. That's fine. That's actually fine. So we're actually going to prioritize normal summoning the drones now because we have the Where Arf Thou, so we can get value off the Magician's Souls. So we're going to go drones, effect. Check the top of the deck. We actually knew he drew into the Ash Blossom. Now that I'm... Yep, it is infinite permanence. We gave him the Ash Blossom off the drones last turn. So that's actually fine. I should have remembered that when we were talking through his turn. So we're gonna actually have to guess with the super agent here, but that's fine because the big red will still summon out the double helix that's in our graveyard. So we're gonna guess monsters because it's the safe bet, and it's a spell card. He's scooping. I think he realized that we have game regardless, which we do because we got the sleeper, we got the last resort already. We're gonna get access to the Magician's Souls because we have the Where Arf Thou, and he didn't do any damage last turn. So that was pretty cut and color that was going to be a win for us. That puts us to 4-2 on the night. He really didn't have a return on that once we banished the card he was targeting with the Idol Reborn. That would have given him access to the Arrival at Ignister, which would have been a pain in the butt to get rid of. Our only way around it would have been, and we're going to choose to go second here because I said we are going to do that last game. It would have been a pain in the butt to play around with anything other than the Boral Sword or making our own access code talker, which is rather difficult for the most part. So we have combo with this hand. We have the one Ash Blossom to try to deter our opponent from playing Fusion Destiny off the bat. That's going to summon Dustopia. We're going to Ash that. That's fine. He's desperate if that's his first move. Vion. Vion's gonna send... He's gonna send Shadow Mist here? Or Mally. I don't think Mally gets him anywhere because Mally would... What would Mally do for him? Mally doesn't get him access to Cross Crusader. He's really thinking hard about this, so I think the correct move is to send Shadow Mist to search a hero monster, which could be anything from Honest Neos to... Yeah, did he send the Shadow Mist? Yeah. He's going to search. So he may have a Polymerization in hand. Searching the Stratos for next turn. That makes sense. The question is, what does he have otherwise? So Vion here is going to banish that. Actually, sorry. He has place here. He can banish the Shadow Mist, search a Polymerization. So he could Fusion Summon here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what he's going to use, though, using just the Vion and the Stratos. So that doesn't, you know, and there's other 2 cards in hand we don't really know. The set card there is kind of a problem. So we're going to go drones first here. See if we can use the effect to reorder the top of his deck. It passed priority to him, which means that he has something activatable. So that means it's either an infinite impermanence or it's... We're going to give him the Ash Blossom. That's actually okay for us because that means we get the Super Agent effect to pop that. I think it's infinite impermanence at this point. Or he's got an effect failure in hand, which is unfortunate if he has the effect failure because there's not a way that this hand can play around that. So Super Agent here is going to bait out whatever the set card is, which again I think is infinite impermanence because priority passed to him the moment we summoned a monster, which only infinite impermanence or effect failure would do. It's mass change action, so he's going to summon Dark Law here. All right, how do we play around this? The reality is that we really don't. Magician Soul Sense for cost. I mean, shitty part is anything we do here is going to result in us losing Dark Law. It is going to result in us losing whatever we send. So if we link off, say, the double Helix plus the master plan that we search, we end up going minus because we also don't get the master plan because it wasn't sent to the graveyard. So that's not the right play. And we can't activate the Magician Souls because the Dark Law is on field. So I really don't want to have to say we have to go Nightmare Cerberus, but I think we have to go Nightmare Cerberus. And do this really, really weirdly. The correct play, honestly, would have probably been to go Magician Souls first before we went Drones and Super Agent. Yeah. Which means the big red and the utility wire are dead to us, which is unfortunate. We're going to have to discard one here off the Cerberus. Oh, Cerberus can't even pop a card unless it's the main monster zone. Oh, no. Yeah, this actually kills us. We actually don't have a way to out that. That's... That's unfortunate. There's no way to out this. Damn, with that... Yeah, the right play would have been Magician Souls first. He wouldn't have been able to chain the mass change because the Souls has to send for cost. So we wouldn't have been able to send whatever we wanted. We could have sent, in that case, the Master Plan or the Apprentice Illusion. And at the very least, we could have gone and cleared the Dark Law with the Zeus play. The Recital Starlight with the Assembled Nightingale. That's unfortunate. Okay. All right. 4 and 3 on the night. We're going to continue. So long as we end on a positive, that's the key with this deck. Just ending on a positive. But it's unfortunate that that's how that ended. No more going second. We're only going to go second if our opponent makes us go second. We're winning the coin toss too often tonight. So we're just going to continue to take advantage going first. Alright, it's a really good, nice hand, actually. We're going to Magician Souls and send the Master Plan here. Because the Quick Fix can... No. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. So we're gonna go Terraforming here. We have to search the Super Agent first. He's got some, it's got the Ash. Jesus. All right, we haven't lost. That was knowing that he had the terraforming, that might have been the right call to do it this way. Because now we can go quick fix safely, knowing that we're going to get the big red. So quick fix will trigger on summon, get us the big red. Big red's going to summon out the master plan, and we're going to search the rescue here. That's critical. Reason being, we're still going to be able to go into double helix. So, at least to my immediate knowledge, we did this correctly. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. So, Soul's going to draw us 2 cards here. We're going to send the big red, and we're going to send the rescue. You can send from field and hand to graveyard, or just field, or just hand. So we're going to draw 2 cards here. Where Arf Thou into big red. Nice, nice. That gives us access to the DD Crow. And what we're going to do is we're going to go Princess Sprite. See if we can get another card here. If not, we Foolish Burial something. So long as it's not the Sleeper that we're Foolish Burialing, we're okay. We also could have just gone straight for the... actually, we should have just done that. Could have just gone straight for the double helix here, but I'm playing a little greedy right now. Foolish Burial is really good. We have the rescue as well to bring back the quick fix to get another card here, and then we're going to go to double helix. But the catch is that we still don't know what's on the top of his deck. So quick fix is going to trigger. We're going to have the utility wire right now. And we're going to go into double helix. Now, instead of blinding the double helix here, what we're actually going to do is we're going to get the most value out of this by using master plan to search resort and super agent. So super agent's going to be our blind call. Then we know double helix is going to go through. At worst, we get both summons. Sorry, at best we just get we get both summons. At worst, we get just the double helix. So we called it correctly. He's drawing in a DD Crow. That doesn't do a whole ton for him going second. So we're going to go double helix here. And we're going to summon out, because double helix is summoned from both the graveyard and the deck. We're going to summon the master plan back so that we can get another spiral mission card. Because there's nothing in the deck that we really want to summon, because we know that his deck is currently going to draw him into a brick. So master plan's going to search us the other rescue. And we can discard that now off the quick fix in the graveyard. And we're also going to get the DD Crow out of this. So quick fix here. We're going to discard the rescue. Summon out the quick fix. Quick fix on summon. Trigger searching the last resort. Now, why are we searching the last resort there? This is why. We're going to go Foolish Burial, sending the drones. And by doing such, we can then bring that back with the rescue to go into the Recital Starling to search the DD Crow there without having to use the 1-for-1. Because now we can use the 1-for-1 next turn to search the Magician's Souls. Or we could use it this turn. But I don't want to give us the potential to be lethal at 6,000, so we're going to hold it, which is okay. I want to see what he's playing first before we make any rash decisions, and now is a good time to drones here. So he's got the Mally, he's got the Maxx C, he's got the DD Crow. I want to give him the DD Crow because that's a brick going against us right this second. So we're going to go Recital Starling, like we spoke about. He hasn't shown us anything that's activatable yet, so that leads me to believe that he does not have the Nibiru. But we're going to get full value out of the Appaloosa here. We're going to get a 4-material Appaloosa protecting the Sleeper. And I want to boost the double helix here, because we can use the Super Agent, the Princess Sprite, the Master Plant, and the Recital Starling to summon out the Appaloosa underneath the double helix. So we're going to detach the quick fix, adding the DD Crow to hand. And we're going to go Last Resort. Adding the Sleeper to hand. Now, looking at what we have in the graveyard, we've got Quik-Fix, we've got Big Red. We need to put a few more cards in the graveyard. But that's okay, we know we have material underneath the Recital Starling. So it's going to be a big apple. It's going to be 3,200 attack. And now we have enough to banish to summon the Sleeper. We also kept the Spiral Super Agent on field because, again, Double Helix is treated as both while on the field or in the graveyard, so we can activate the Utility Wire. We searched the DD Crow. We also drew into the Maxx C earlier. So we're in really good shape. We're going to summon the Sleeper all the way over here to avoid conflicting with the zones that the Double Helix could potentially point to next turn, because we're likely going to be linking off the Appaloosa and the Double Helix depending on what we're going up against turn 3. So Last Resort's going to equip to the Sleeper. Sleeper can not be targeted because it's equipped with Last Resort. Also can't be destroyed by card effects. And the SPYRAL Resort says that the Last Resort can't be targeted. So this is unbreakable for the most part, unless it's game 1 again where we face down Feather Duster and Feather Duster and Lightning Storm, which was really unfortunate, but it does happen. So we've got follow-up for next turn. We've got the Drone, we've got the Big Red, we've got the DD Crow, we've got the Maxx C. And we can shuffle back a card. So I'm going to put back the Master Plan. This way, with another card we know we can discard to activate the Souls in hand next turn. Sorry, another card we know we can send to activate the Souls in hand next turn. So what do we have here? Well, we got one form of interruption in the utility. It's a compulse that will put any card back on the top of the deck. We've got the Appaloosa for at least 4 negates. Unless they've got the infinite permanents, then it's got no negates. We've got the Sleeper to pop 2. We've also got the Maxx C and DD Crow in hand, which are extra. The DD Crow is nice because we did search it, so for the most part, it is a guaranteed degree of interaction. The Maxx C is a nice, top deck for turn. Worked out really nicely because of that. But it's not always guaranteed. He's going to DD Crow right this second. He's going to banish the Quik-Fix. We're going to negate that with the Appaloosa because we need the Quik-Fix for next turn to generate more card advantage. Setting a card, he's got nothing. So, Sleeper can target up to 2 cards our opponent controls. So we're going to use this in the end phase. Going to target itself. It's critical that it targets itself while it's equipped to Sleeper, while it's equipped to Last Resort, because then it cannot destroy itself. We popped a Shaddoll Dragon. This lets him pop a Spell or Trap card on the field. We're going to lose the Utility Wire. We're actually not going to lose Utility Wire here because we're in the end phase. So we're going to negate that. Appaloosa is going to go down to 16. We keep the Utility Wire. Could have given him that, but it doesn't really make any sense. We're going to win this turn anyway. So draw for turn. Drawing into Ash. Oh, God. There's no way he can play through what's coming next turn if we don't win this following turn. So here's the play. SPYRAL Resort. We're going to search the Tough. Sorry, actually, we're going to search the Super Agent. Reason being, we're going to normal summon the Drone, search the special summon the Super Agent after we rearrange the order of his deck. And that will give us access to game. So we're going to let him draw into the Mally now. Don't want to give him the nib just in case. Yep. Summon. So how much damage is this? This is going to be 4,100, 6,000. This is game. No BM. And he scoops anyway. He recognizes it as well. So that puts us at 5-3 with the deck this evening. And we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go till about 11:30. And we're going second. I think Tri-Wizard is good in this deck. I do think Tri-Wizard is good in this deck. The thing about Tri-Wizard, though, is that it's harder to get the full triple co-link with now that you've lost access to Firewall. What you'd have to do is you'd have to have enough gas to be able to make Link Karibo, to then summon the Tri-Gate Wizard. And, you know, with Firewall, it was super easy because you were just endlessly searching drones off the Quik-Fix to be able to do it. I don't think it's as easy now. So I would honestly suggest not playing Tri-Gate Wizard, but you could. I just don't know the combo to do it off the top of my head. So we're gonna Souls here, sending the Apprentice Illusion. Now here's the tricky part. We didn't really open a way to get to combo. So, trying to think of what the best play is here. Drone doesn't get us there, neither does the Soul by itself. We're going to have to Where Arf Thou to search the Quik-Fix, to summon it, search a big red, and see what we can do to get us there. We may have to just go Link Red into Princess Sprite, which, depending on that, could theoretically get us there. So Quik-Fix on summon, trigger. Add the big red. So we're going to go Princess Sprite. If Princess Sprite pitches a Super Agent, or if it gets us away to Super Agent, we're crystal clear. We're good to go. Princess Sprite, we're going to have to detach the Quik-Fix here. Hitting the Sleeper. No. No, 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 no. That is not ideal at all. How do we... Don't want to use the big red here because it doesn't really buy us anything. I mean, we could go big red, summon the Quik-Fix, search the Last Resort. What does that get us? It gives us potentially a turn? Yeah. This is really suboptimal, and this is a problem with the deck. We haven't bricked really yet tonight. But with the loss of Quik-Fix and your ability to like freely run cards like Machine Dupe, Machine Dupe plus drones is nice, but you don't get any value out of it using Quik-Fix anymore. So you used to just be able to play Machine Dupe and Quik-Fix. You summon out 2 other Quik-Fix and you just go +4. It was nuts. There's another reason why they had to hit it. So what we're doing right now is we're hoping that the Quik-Fix can't be destroyed or targeted, so that it'll buy us a turn to be able to summon Tough next turn, or the drone, and then we could potentially go into Zeus, depending on what we like. It all depends on the draws here, and what our opponent potentially has. But we're playing a big game of hypotheticals, because the biggest hypotheticals, hopefully we have Quik-Fix at the end of our opponent's next turn at the very least. If we still have the Quik-Fix, then we have a play. We can summon the Tough, try to use Tough's effect, or try to use Drone's effect to play through this to then make double Helix. Otherwise, this is just a really unlucky opening hand, which, again, will happen. And that makes me even more upset that I threw that one game earlier. Actually, there's 2 games if you think about it. Shit. Oh no. Alright, we are gonna get Zeused. Tiger Mortars. Can teach us the Hammer Con to summon out the Tiger Mortar. Or the Whiptail. This is probably the better play. And what's going to happen here is he's going to use the Tiger Mortar, detaching the Hammer Con to equip the Whiptail as a material, which will then put the Tiger Mortar to 2,900 attack. Or any subsequent monster that he can summon next. And what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to attack into the Quik-Fix to banish it. Which, again, there's actually nothing we can do about that. Which is really unfortunate. And then he's still going to Zeus us. So, I think this is going to get chalked up to a loss because we bricked hard. Yep, just as I thought. He can also do piercing because the Thorough Blade is equipped as material to the Chakanine. So what's going to happen now is he's going to have a 4 material Zeus because he's not going to blow the Trident on the or maybe he will. That's not the right play unless he has a Whiptail in hand. What he should have done is and honestly in that moment he should have just gone for the Zeus, because now he's expending another monster and the Zeus is going to end up with a odd number of material anyway, unless he has another way to equip a material to it. But the only way he could do that is if he has Whiptail, and I don't think he does. So or he's just going to make a 6 material Trident, which is actually safe for us. Like, we don't lose to a Trident. If he passes on just a Trident. I don't think he will. Maybe he is realizing that he needs a 6 material Zeus, which is a bit of overkill. He runs the risk of losing the Trident by doing it this way, which is probably the suboptimal play. So he's going to burn a Trident pop. He's going to pop the Princess Sprite. I don't think we get any value out of this getting popped. No. No, we get no value out of that. I don't think there's a way to play through this. The only way that we could play through this, I think, is maybe if we top deck a card like Big Red. And no, we definitely don't now because he went for the Zeus. Called by, yeah, this is a loss. Damn, okay. It's a really unfortunate hand. Wow, this is also another non-ideal hand. All right, so we're gonna have to souls here. We're gonna send the master plan because we have the Big Red, so we can potentially get some added value off this, and we can bluff the super agent to search the to guarantee that the Helix could potentially resolve correctly. He's got no interruptions at the moment, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a nib. which is something to definitely be afraid of, as you saw earlier. So the quicker we can get to Appaloosa, the better it is for us. We're going to search the rescue here so that we can potentially play around the nib. And at this moment here, we're going to souls to draw 2 cards, sending the rescue and the big red. That's a really good top deck. That means that our normal summon could be the quick fix here, which is better than what I was thinking of doing with the tough or the super agent if the super agent whiffed. So we're gonna get the quick fix here. Go normal summon quick fix and then use the super agent effect. So quick fix here does not search the big red because we've already activated it this turn. So instead we're gonna search the utility wire. Super agent bluff. Best case scenario, this summons. Worst case scenario, it doesn't, but we get the guarantee for double helix. And we know he's drawing into Call by the Grave, so that's not really a problem. Now, there's one big misplay that he could make right here. And that's if he goes into Nibiru now. Actually, no, he can't even go to Nibiru now. No, we're actually in the clear. We're fine. We're going to search the Sleeper here, and we're going to search the Resort. We're going to have to activate the Rescue first before going into the Quick Fix. Reason being, we want to see if we can get another Rescue in hand to then pitch to summon the Quick Fix in the graveyard. Because again, we control Super Agent, which is double helix in this moment. Oh, no, we want to discard that, yeah. What's nice about this, too, is we can go into the Recital Starling here to search the DD Crow. The crappy part, though, is that we know that he's going to draw into the Called by the Grave. So the Ash Blossom or the DD Crow could be potentially bad for us. But at the same time, it's nice to have it. And we also still haven't used the Super Agent here, so the double helix here. So I think the correct play then is to now call drones. And we know it's spell cards because it's the called by. So we're going to summon out the drones here, reorganize the top of the deck to our liking. And then we're able to go for Appaloosa after we search the DD Crow here. So let's see what he's got. Ooh, he's playing Cyber Dragon. If he's playing Cyber Dragon, then the correct call actually may just be to let him keep the Galaxy Soldier. We want to have him keep the Galaxy Soldier, and I'll explain why. Because we're gonna go for Appaloosa here. We're also gonna go for the Sleeper. We're gonna have the potential to disrupt his plays, but the Called by would stop the Ash Blossom and the DD Crow that we're gonna get right here. So we've got the Rescue and Graveyard. That's critical to summoning back the double helix right here. So only using 2 materials. That's another critical part right here, is we're only using 2. You don't want to click 3 by accident. You need to make sure you click that decide button over here. We don't need to use the effect because nothing on field is going to stay here for much longer. So we're going to detach the Quick Fix. I'm going to add the DD Crow to hand. We're then going to use the... We don't even need to use the other Resort. We're going to hold the Resort. We're going to rescue... No, we rescue after. So we want to make sure we have more Link Zones to summon to. So we're going to use the double helix, only using it as 1 material. This way we can get the most value out of our Appaloosa. We're using the rescue here so that we can bring back the double helix. so that we have the ability to use the utility wire. And we're going to summon the double helix over here so that we have 4 zones that Link Monster can be summoned to next turn. So these are all linked zones. So we're going to summon the Sleeper, but we're going to summon the Sleeper next to the double helix. Banishing the Master Plan, the Big Red, and the drones. Equipping the Last Resort to the Sleeper. Setting the utility wire. Don't need to use the quick fix. Pass turn on this. I have to pay the maintenance cost for SPYRAL Resort. We're going to put back the Magician's Souls. Reason being, we have another target in the deck. We sent the Master Plan earlier. So that means we still have the Apprentice Illusion in the deck. So if we draw Magician's Souls that's not dead, it's actually usable. So our opponent draws for turn. We know they drew into the Galaxy Soldier. Appaloosa can negate the effect to summon itself from the hand. He's still going to have to discard for cost. And if he tries to use the effect again, we can just negate that. And then if he tries to use the effect on field to search another Galaxy Soldier, we can just negate that. So odds are we're going to lose the Appaloosa. Summon Cyber Dragon Core. This is a mandatory effect. And I'm going to Ash this. Reason being, I don't want the Appaloosa to get too low where he can beat over it with a Cyber Dragon. So we're going to stop that there. Now, here's the dangerous part. We had to use a monster effect to negate, and a card like Triple Tack Talents is prime in a Cyber Dragon deck because Cyber Dragons like to go second for the most part. So we could have just given him access to Triple Tack Talents, which would not only give him the ability to possibly draw 2 cards, but it could also give him the ability to snipe a card from our hand, or the most critical part is take control of a monster that we control. And it's non-targeting, so we could take the Sleeper. And we're going to utility wire here to put the Cyber Dragon Core back in the deck. This way he can't resolve the machine dupe. So machine dupe fizzles. It doesn't have targets to summon because the target is shuffled back into the deck. So it's on the top of the deck too. So we know next turn, if he passes right now, that we're calling monsters. So here comes the Galaxy Soldier. He's going to have to discard for cost. He's discarding hers. Hers, when it sent to the graveyard, can add another Cyber Dragon from deck to hand. I'm going to do... I have to do 2 things here. I have to Appaloosa, and then I have to chain DD Crow to make sure the hers cannot trigger. Because it can't trigger the same chain link it's sent to the graveyard because it's sent for cost. So this will prevent him from being able to add a Cyber Dragon card from deck to hand. Because the hers is not in the area where it would have been able to activate. So it misses the ability to, and he loses here. So played that incredibly optimally, even though our hand was kind of wonky. So another instance of how powerful this deck can be. And some of you are probably like, you know, I know there's going to be a couple of you who are going to watch the video and you're going to be scratching your heads like, why is he playing DD Crow? SPYRAL has kind of always played DD Crow because, again, you saw what the level 1s can do. It can search the DD Crow to play around the problematic stuff. So had he gotten the hers, that's a problem because then it gives him another card to then summon with the next Galaxy Soldier, or he could even just go into Cyber Dragon, link off the Cyber Dragon, Contact Fusion off the Cyber Dragon and our Appaloosa to go into Mega Fleet and then clear our board that way, which is kind of problematic. So I'm glad you guys got to see that degree of interaction with DD Crow because that's the power that DD Crow has, and that's another circumstance where a play similar to that would happen would be against Drytron. You could banish the Ben 10 that they send off that they tribute off to activate Alpha or Zeta and so forth. You know, it's near identical to that kind of scenario. And this is another hand where it's not really ideal, but we can play, assuming the last resort is successful. So, the resort is successful. So he's got something activatable already. Is it Maxx C? It would have to be. So in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a handful of cards that immediately would be activatable. And in this kind of format, in a best of 1, there's really only one that comes to mind, and that's Maxx C. We have the Ash Blossom to play through the Maxx C. The other cards, and I'm going to say them too, just so you guys are aware, would be Artifact Lancia, tribute itself during your opponent's main phase. Your opponent cannot banish cards, which would stop us from being able to summon the Sleeper. Another card it could be is Dimension Shifter, which would banish any card sent to the graveyard for our turn and our opponent's next turn, which is also really annoying. But I'm just inclined to believe that it's Maxx C. It was activatable the moment we could play. And it's not going to be DD Crow because there's nothing in graveyard. It can't be Cyphering Grandma because this is the first monster effect we've activated. It definitely can't. It couldn't have been Ash Blossom. Yeah, it is Maxx C. So we've got the Ash Blossom to stop this. The only way he stops this right here is if he has the Cyphering Gamma. Which if he does... Yikes. It passed priority back to him. He might have the Gamma. Like I said, the only other thing he could have is he's got the Gamma, or he's got something like Lancia, which can be activated during his turn, our turn. I think it's Gamma. I feel like he kind of decided that. Oh my God, what is this? He can draw into the Wapaku all he wants. We are not giving him the evenly matched. In which case, we are now going to go Where Arf Thou. This is going to get us Magician Souls at the very least, assuming this goes through. And it does. So we're not gonna. So we're gonna make sure to summon the Apprentice Illusion. To send the Apprentice Illusion here. Not summoning. Sorry, not sending the Master Plan. Prioritizing the Apprentice Illusion here. We're gonna thin the deck a bit because I think we can draw off the Magician Souls by sending the Resort. So we're just gonna draw the one card. Mission Assault. Okay. Sure. Super Agent here. We know it's a trap card. It's Wabaku. I really think he's got the Cipher. I don't think it's the Cipher from Gamma now. Unless he's turned off his toggle. Which could be the case. To make it look like he's got nothing. And which means he definitely just toggled it back on. Priority passed back to us. We know it's a trap card. That went through too freely. So that inclines me to believe that he just actually at this point has nothing else. So Master Plan's going to come out. Really don't have a ton of graveyard to start triggering effects. So we're just going to play this very safely. Master Plan's going to search the rescue. He's got something that's activatable right in this moment. We're going to go straight for Appaloosa here. And it's only going to be a 3 material Appaloosa. But we're going to at least get the Resort plus the Sleeper out of this, which will then get us to the last Resort. And this stops us from getting nibbed at this moment. Or if he's got something crazy like a Lancia at this time, which I don't know why he wouldn't have just done the Lancia now. So the downfall to this is that we don't get use out of the utility wire. But we can draw a card off the Mission Assault, which is kind of nice. So gonna go Resort, activate Resort. Resort's gonna search the last Resort, which will protect the Sleeper. Priority passes back to him. Passes back to us. Gonna banish the Drone, the Super Agent, and the last Resort. Shuffling back the Master Plan as maintenance cost on the Resort. We're going to activate the Assault, and I know we haven't done that in the past, but we're doing this so that we can draw a card off the Sleeper popping something during his next turn. Now, what does this lose to? The big MO right now would be losing to something like Lava Golem. We left 2 monsters on field. It sucks, but this is the best board that we could have put up with the hand that we were dealt. So we're going to put back the Master Plan. We know he's drawing into Wabaku, which is effectively a dead card right now. Sleeper during his end phase can pop 2 cards he controls, or it could just pop them at any point during his turn, or our turn for that matter as well. But don't want to really give him a chance to activate the Wabaku, because then we can't OTK next turn. So we're in main phase 1. Card like evenly matched is also problematic right here. We know he's playing it, which means he's... Oh, fuck. Lightning Storm. Destroy attack position monsters? Sure. So that we lose the Appaloosa, we can no longer be Lava Golem here. I don't think he read what Last Resort does. He should have just nuked the back row. If he had nuked the back row, then Sleeper... Oh, he's got a Gamma Seal or something. He's got a Kaiju, of course. Jesus. Oh, no! Again? This is the second Numeron deck we played tonight. Ugh. This is awful. We get OTK'd. Because he summons 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 has to crash into the Godarla, the Dust Kaiju. Yeah, so here's the 1. You're going to get the 2. They can't be destroyed by battle, and then they trigger when... Ugh. Yeah, this is... We have 4,000, then 8,000. Yeah, we lost. Ugh. That sucks. That actually sucks. There was no way to play around that because he had the Godarla the whole time. So if we had gone for something like IP Masquerena, wouldn't have made... Honestly, it didn't make a difference. It really didn't make it. The only way that makes a difference is if we could have kept Super Agent on the field in some capacity to then have been able to activate the utility wire to shuffle back the Numeron network field spell of his. That's the only way. Otherwise, that was a loss from the start, which is really unfortunate because that's just a pure OTK deck. Wow, that's the second one we faced tonight. That feels like a rarity. Oh no. Alright, what does this hand do for us? Not a ton. So we have to Magician Souls here, and because we drew the Apprentice Illusion in our opening hand, we have to send the Master Plan. Magician Souls is gonna have to send the Spiral Mission to grave. He's got something activatable. Oh Lord. Wow, 2 losses in a row, and this is bad. Under no circumstances do we take the Maxx C challenge and win this. I'm sick. Oh, that is statistically impossible. Oh my god. Alright, that's a loss again. Jesus. Alright. Literally an unplayable hand. So, if we were gonna take the Maxx C challenge, what would have happened is normal summon the drones. Drones effect, look at the top cards on his deck. If it's a... It doesn't really matter what it is because he's going to draw into it anyway. Realistically, he's going to get all those cards. We're going to go into Princess Sprite. Princess Sprite mill, excavate, look, see if it's a spell or trap card. If it's anything that could realistically get us to another Spiral monster, I think we're okay. Oh my god, this is another hand that's just suboptimal at best. Alright, so Souls. We've got plays, but it's not ideal. So we're going to set Master Plan here because we can pitch the rescue we search, the rescue in our hand off the Souls. He's got something activatable. I swear, the benefit here is we top decked 2 Called by the Grave. So if it's DD Crow, then we live. So Soul's going to send the rescue here. Unbeknownst to him, it's going to special summon the master plan, and then we can use the super agent calling, taking a, if we whiff, no big deal, because then we can just normal summon the super agent, go into double helix anyway. So this hand is actually fine, but it's still wonky. It's not ideal. There's better hands. You've seen the better hands. So here we go. Send the rescue. He's got something activatable. This is likely an effect veiler because it was activatable the moment we summoned a monster. Ash Blossom. Okay, that's fine. We're going to call by here. Because I really want to draw that card. He's got something else that's activatable? Is it like Ghost Bell? Lancia? DD Crow? Infinite and permanent. Wow, he really does not want us to draw cards. Alright, so that negates the Magician's Souls. Now, what does that mean for the rest of this? We just don't draw a card. He's gone -2, though, in order to get us to this point. We still have full combo available to us. So, the only way he realistically can beat us now is if he has another Infinite and Permanence at hand, or a... why can I not think of the word? Nibiru. So Master Plan's going to summon here off the rescue. We're going to search another rescue, assuming that we can get to Quik-Fix, which I know I realistically hope that we can. So here, like we said, we're going to call a card with Super Agent. It's a total guess. We do not know, but it's okay because this gets us to the ability to go through Quik-Fix. Sorry, to double helix. We got the best result possible, which is to summon it for free. And nothing was activatable the moment we summoned the Master Plan or the Super Agent, so that leads me to believe he does not have another Infinite Permanence. So the Master Plan is going to go unchecked here because he can't activate Ash Blossom. We're going to add the Sleeper, and we're going to add the Resort to hand. We're going to activate the Resort. Double Helix here is going to have to prioritize summoning the Quik-Fix. But before we do anything, we're going to go Resort, searching the Drone, because we have not normal summoned yet. So, double Helix. I'm going to call monsters because we know it's Nerval. Summon out the Quik-Fix. Why are we summoning the Quik-Fix? Well, we've already used the Master Plan effect to get both the Resort and the Sleeper to hand. And we can search the last resort through the Quik-Fix. So we're going to do that. So there it is. Now we've got the Sleeper combo, at the very least. Drone effect on summon. I really don't want him drawing into the Nerval. I'd rather he draw into the Kit. Reason being, Kit cannot... actually, Kit plus Nerval, either one can go into Almirage. Kit is... it gets the same result, actually. It's probably better to give him the Nerval. We can go Recital Starling here, searching the DD Crow. So we have another form of interaction. It doesn't really play into anything with the Tri-Brigade stuff a whole lot. So there's really there's not a ton of benefit to having the DD Crow, but it plays around the potential for him to just like normal summon a monster, say it's Kit, link it off into Almirage, send another card, aka Nerval, and then get the Karis to hand, and then he's got 2 material. We can then banish to DD Crow, which is probably the best case scenario, but at the same time, we also have the called by for that kind of moment too. So that's why I'm okay with giving him the Nerval, because if he goes Nerval, summon the Almirage, we can then chain the call by to the activation of the Nerval and graveyard to search another Tri-Brigade. So we're going to Quik-Fix here, sending the rescue. We're going to search the utility wire, and we're going to do this a little differently this time. So, the last couple times... Actually... We're gonna go big red first before we go for the utility wire. We're gonna go for Princess Sprite. I didn't see this play immediately, but Princess Sprite is gonna reveal here. Doesn't really matter because we're detaching the quick fix's cost, and we can still go for the Appaloosa for 4 materials plus the double helix on field to net us the cards we need. So we're adding the assault, which is really nice actually. So quick fix here. So we don't need to quick fix here. We're gonna go big red. We've used both rescues, correct? Yeah, there's one in the graveyard. We're gonna summon out the quick fix to search the utility wire. We already have the last resort in hand, which is fine. And we're gonna use the rescue to bring back the master plan in our graveyard. Realistically, we can summon the super agent. It doesn't really matter what we're summoning here. We just need to get another monster on field so that we can summon the Appaloosa with 4 material to play around all the Tri-Brigade stuff. What's nice too is the double helix is bigger than the Simorg on summon, so he can't even use the Simorg to run over the double helix. Gonna summon the sleeper. We're gonna banish the drone, the big red, and the super agent. And equip the last resort to the sleeper. Activate the mission, set the call by on the utility wire. Now, he's not playing Mech Knights. We already know he's playing Tri-Brigade. So, but we're setting up to play around the Mech Knights to the best of our ability. And we still have something activated. Well, it's a quick fix. We got 1 card in hand. It's a DD Crow. How many forms of interruption is this? This is 2. Utility wire called by the grave. DD Crow is 3. 4, 5 is Sleeper. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is Appaloosa. And we're going to put back the Magician. We're going to put back the Master Plan. So that's 9 forms of interruption right here. And he can't target the double helix. He cannot target the sleeper. He cannot target the last resort, or the assault, even for that matter, because the resort is on field. So let's see what Phoenix wants to do. So like I said, guys, I think this deck is really strong because when it goes off like this, it is one of the hardest to beat decks in the game. But as you've seen in the last couple games, it starts with really clunky hands sometimes that are less than ideal. He's got something activatable, which means it's likely an infinite permanence, or he's got his own Call by the Grave on the fractal there. So he's letting that go through. So fractal's negated. We know he's top deck Nerval. He's likely going to go Nerval normal summon effect. Nerval, link it off for Almirage, and then try to extend from there. But again, he's playing into the Appaloosa. The Appaloosa is just going to negate the Nerval. We could also just chain the Called by then in that moment. So then he really gets less value out of it because the Nerval will hit the graveyard, be banished, and also not get its effect simultaneously. So there's one less thing for him to attempt to banish if he has the ability to summon Karis in his hand. There's no way he plays through this. Yeah, so here you go. He's going to go Almirage. Off the Nerval, he's going to attempt to summon the Karis, and it's just going to be met with Almirage, with Appaloosa immediately. If he summons a monster, it's just going to get popped by a sleeper anyway. But I'm going to chain Called by here because I really don't want him to get any extra value out of this. So I'm not even going to waste the Appaloosa. Called by is going to banish the Nerval here, guaranteeing that he has, again, one less thing to banish with the Tri-Brigade effects, plus the Nerval will not trigger. And what this also does is this plays around Ghost Bell. He's got a Called by the Grave to chain. That does nothing for him. He's going to banish the Quick Fix here because it's the right choice. But again, he's got 1 card in hand. We know it's not a Tri-Brigade. I mean, it could be a Tri-Brigade at this moment, but it doesn't do anything for him. So sure. You can banish our Quick Fix. He's banishing the Magician's Souls, not the Quick Fix. Okay, he's He's just giving up. And we OTK him next turn because the Resort's going to search the tough summon. Yeah. Nothing he does right here matters. Sleeper effect and end phase. The Amirage can't tribute itself because there's nothing to protect it, to use its effect to protect with. So we popped the Revolt. The Revolt wasn't really going to do anything for him anyway. And we're going to draw a card now off the Assault. Terraforming, cool. It gives us another field spell. We're already going to win anyway. So let's just win more. Where Arf Thou is also win more at this point. Resort's just going to search the tough. We're not going to BM him. We're just going to normal summon the tough. Swing for game. All right, and on that, we win. I'm going to take a 2-second break here, guys. Just going to run downstairs, grab a glass of water. I'll be right back. We'll play a couple more games, then I'm going to call it quits at 11:30. So we're going to have about another hour left to stream. So just give me a few minutes. Just going to take a quick break. Just going to be 1, maybe 2 minutes. All right, guys, I am back. Thank you for waiting, and we're going to get right back into this. So, again, I hope you guys are recognizing the value that DD Crow has in this meta, especially right now as the game is still trying to shape up, find out what's, the choke points and so forth. DD Crow has always been a particularly strong card. It's one of the first hand traps ever introduced to Yu-Gi-Oh! And as you've seen, being able to search it is really nice. It puts a lot of pressure on our opponents, and so far it's really benefited us having it. This is another one of those weird hands, but if the Magician Souls can go unchecked, we're okay, because we can send the Master Plan and then search the Quik-Fix. Now, the issue with searching the Quik-Fix is that, again, we're taking a guess on the double helix, which maybe is not the best way to play it, but it's the only way that we're playing through this, with this hand. It's just the nature of what we were drawn. He's got something activatable here, which may be Ash, and it's Ash, and we have to call by this because we have no follow-up play if we don't, which means the Ash in our hand is dead, because the called by is going to stop the Ash from being activatable next turn as well. So it's unfortunate that this is the hand we've been dealt, but we can still make some use out of this. Like I said, normal summon Quik-Fix. He's scooping on that, actually. Okay. I guess that means that he thinks we had more than we had. He should have just played it out. I only scoop if I know I'm going to lose. So you should realistically always play it out, because there's the odds that your opponent screw up. As you saw, there were a couple times where, just because the nature of how late it is at night when we're filming this and we're streaming this, you're more prone to making mistakes because you're tired. Right now, I'm feeling better than we were a couple games ago when, you know, I normal summoned Tough and walked right into the ultimate Draco feature. That was just a boneheaded play. But, like, in his instance, he should have waited because there were the odds that we did not hit on the double Helix, which would have officially ended our turn. And we're going first here. He's electing for us to go first. That's ballsy because we have full combo in our hand. The Reinforcement Army is going to go unchecked here because it passed priority immediately back to us. So the Super Agent can be the bluff to get to the double Helix. So 1 for 1 here. Going to pitch the Master Plan, summoning out the Quik-Fix. Now Master Plan won't trigger because it's not being sent from field to the graveyard. It has to be sent from field to graveyard to trigger to search both the field spell, SPYRAL Resort, and a SPYRAL monster, which is fine. You know, this is going to be a little bit of a different play, but we're going to search the big red here off the Quik-Fix. We also have the Where Arf Thou to get value off the Magician's Soul, so we're going to do that right now. So we're going to at least draw minimum 1 to 2 cards here off the Magician's Souls. We're not going to activate Magician's Souls just yet. We're going to go big red first, summoning the Master Plan. Master Plan will search as the rescue. So the discard here is going to be off the Magician's Souls is going to be the big red sending it from field to graveyard, and the rescue that we're searching. So Magician's Souls will activate now, sending the Apprentice Illusion Magician as cost to special summon itself from the hand. That's one less card that we're drawing into that would then be a brick in our hand. Now Magician's Souls will trigger sending the rescue, which will help us play around the Nibiru, and the big red to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. This opened up everything. We could go beyond now because we have the sleeper card. So here's the deal. If we get nibbed, we win anyway because we have the sleeper. Because now we could go Super Agent. You know, if Super Agent calls this correctly, then we're golden. They call monsters. It's Dragon Maids. Cool. So what does that mean for us now? That means that double Helix is going to be able to resolve. We're not going to use the Quik-Fix, and I'm going to explain why. It's so that we can go into the Recital Starling to search the DD Crow, because that will help us play around the Dragon Maid stuff. So the Master Plan here will get us both the field spell and a monster. He's got something that's activatable, which means at that point, at this point it is Nibiru. I can wholeheartedly tell you that. And we're going to search the Last Resort, just in case. So he 100% is Nibiru at this moment here. Yeah. Priority is getting passed back and forward to us. We have not normal summoned yet, which is a crucial point to where we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to go SPYRAL Resort here, attempting to search the drones. If this is successful, we'll normal summon the drones. Rearrange the top order of his deck because we don't want him using the Chamber Dragon Maid because he can get him into full combo. So we're going to stop him from doing that. Then we're going to go into Appaloosa using the Quik-Fix, the Magician's Souls, and the double Helix. Not using the drone. Because he clearly has Nibiru now. Clearly. Oy. He can have the 10 kick. Which is kitchen back, you know, it's an anagram for kitchen, by the way. All the Dragon Maid, the large Dragon Maid, actual dragons, not the maids, are anagrams for the name of the Dragon Maid they represent. So 10 kick is kitchen, parlor is low par, laundry is blah blah blah. You know, you get the point. Chamber is the only one I think that does not have a dragon version. Now, why are we using the double Helix here? It's because we have the rescue in graveyard to bring it back so that we can then summon the Quik-Fix anyway. So he recognizes now that he can't Nibiru. He might Nibiru just for the sake of Nibiruing, but he kind of realized that he's in a rut right here. So we big red it already. We can't use big red anymore. That's fine. The actual right play right here is to use rescue to bring back the master plan to search the other rescue. And then we can use that rescue to pitch for some of the other quick fix. Then going into Recital Starling. And then because we're pitching the rescue, we can then bring back the double helix that's in our graveyard. So that we have a live utility wire. Because utility wire will be critical in this Dragon Maid matchup. It'll enable us to pop and bounce the tidying without giving them the ability to special summon back Dragon Maids from the graveyard. I screwed that up. Oh, I screwed that up. Why did I do that? Alright, so we're not getting the DD Crow out of this. Because I talked into a different play. I talked into a play that we shouldn't have done. That's unfortunate. Alright, so we're going to search the Super Agent for next turn. And we're going to play this a little differently than we normally would. We're actually going to summon the Link Rebo. I think we're okay for the most part. I really do. Yeah, we don't get the utility wire out of this, but I mean, we still have the Ash Blossom, and we've got follow-up for next turn. Like, a lot of follow-up for next turn. We know he's got the Nibiru because it keeps passing priority back to us, but he can't activate it because he'll lose it with the Appaloosa. But here's the thing. He should activate it. And the reason being is it'll put Appaloosa to 1600, and I believe Chamber Dragon Maid is an 1800 attack monster. You know, we revealed it earlier. I gotta have to look. I guess it doesn't tell us. Here we go. No, 500 attack, 1800 defense. I had it backwards. It would have been able to, I'm thinking if there's a monster that he could have summoned that could beat over the Appaloosa in this moment. But I think we still win here. We've got 3 negates, 3 monster negates to the Appaloosa. We've got 2 pops with the Sleeper. We've got the Ash Blossom. So, we have 6 forms of interruption. I think we're okay. Plus the Link Rebo in the battle phase if it gets to that. And he can't target the Sleeper. He can't target the Last Resort. And we know one of the cards in his hand is Nibiru. That's all but confirmed at this point. So, I just want to point out, the misplay was I should have just summoned the double helix. We would have pitched the Super Agent that we got to then summon the Quick Fix, to then search the utility wire, then go into Recital Starling, to then have gotten the DD Crow. The downfall to that play, though, is that the Recital Starling is left on field and defense, which isn't the end of the world, per se. But, it gives us a monster that's not really doing anything for us in that moment. It could have also boosted the Appaloosa's attack a little bit more. And our opponent's going to scoop because he realized he can't play through the Appaloosa because he should have activated the effect of Nibiru when he had the chance. So that's like I said, that's a critical thing. If you have the Nibiru and you see an Appaloosa, don't be afraid to activate it just because you may have the card that outs the rest of the Appaloosa negates. So in Spiral case, right? Like, maybe you saw it earlier, right? In that one game where we normal summoned Tough, had it only been like a 3-material Appaloosa and he didn't have the ultimate Draco Future on field, the Utopic Draco Future on field, the Appaloosa would have negated the Tough but not destroyed it, which then would have traded over top of it. So like he trades the 1 effect negation to get a negate, and then the Tough can still swing over the Appaloosa, clearing it, thus enabling us to be able to play through it. Yeah, we don't get the reveal for the Tough, so we're shotgunning something like a Super Agent from the hand, which maybe is wrong, but it's not the end of the world. He's walking right into this. If he's got called by the grave, we're in trouble. But if this Maxx C goes unchecked, We're going to get a lot of value out of this. Priority passes back to him, which means he may have Ash or Called By. Or he's thinking about what... No, he doesn't have it. So he's thinking about what zone to summon the Karis to. So he pitched the Whiptail. Drawing into Tough. That's good for breaking a board going second. We've got the Where Arf Thou and the Souls as well. So at the minimum, we're going to be able to do a really interesting Spiral combo. It's going to be not ideal, but again, it's doable. Top attacking the Foolish Burial. That's actually really good. Okay, now we've got free range to kind of wing this. So we're going to start by activating Souls. We're going to see what he's got. Maybe bait something. We're going to send the Master Plan here instead of the... he's got something activatable. It's got to be... It can't be Cyframe Gamma because he has a monster on field, so he can't activate that. It's a Maxx C of his own. Okay. Ugh. So that was what was activatable. That's problematic. But I think we can win. I think we can actually win through Maxx C. Which probably sounds crazy to you guys, but this may be one of the times where I would openly condone taking the Maxx C challenge. Even though he doesn't really have anything. So we're going to go for it. I'm going to SPYRAL Tough here. It all depends what this back row is. Revolt doesn't get him anything here because at best he would get Fergie or Bearbrum. Or he can't go into Double Dragon Lords. We're going to Tough right here. We're going to call monsters. We're going to attempt to destroy the back row. He's got something activatable. I think it's Imperm. Or it's an effect failure. He's got... It's Nerval. Called by the Grave. He should have chained it. We sent the Quik-Fix. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. If you're going to have a quick play spell and it's activatable, something like a Call by the Grave, always trade. Always trade. He just went -1. It could have been like a net 0 for both of us, and we could have lost our primary combo starters. He should have traded. I can't stress that enough. Do not make that mistake when you play when you play Yu-Gi-Oh. These are little things that you can pick up on. He should have chained the Call by the Grave, banishing the Quik-Fix. There was no reason not to there. Just stupid of him. That's frustrating. I hate seeing plays like that. The guy clearly knew better. At least I would hope he did. So we're going to summon the drones here, and the reason being is I no longer know what the top card of his deck is because he drew. And I need to arrange the deck so that when we summon the double helix here, we get the full value out of it. Okay, he does play the Gamma. Alright, so he's going to draw the driver into the Regeki. That's fine. Alright, so he's drawing the driver here. I need to Souls first. Because the Quik-Fix was summoned off his own effect, so we don't want to throw it away. Now, we know that it's a Regeki he's drawing into. Yep. So we're going to summon the Master Plan from the graveyard so we can get full value out of it. Now, we don't have to go for Recital Starling because we already have the DD Crow in hand. So I'm going to go for Princess Sprite to guarantee that we can get the Quik-Fix back in the graveyard. And then we need to go for Appaloosa as quickly as possible. because we can't have him drawing into Nibiru and ending our day. Call by, cool. That's really good, actually. So we're gonna search the rescue here. Activate the resort, searching the sleeper. We need a quick fix here. We can't make the mistake. We need to be able to guarantee that we have enough damage. So quick fix will summon. Quick fix will search us. The he's got Nibiru now. That's fine. So he's got the Nibiru now. He likely has the Cypher Gamma as well. If he Nibiru's us right here, I think we can still win by going into Boral Sword. He scoops. Wow, taking the Maxx C challenge actually paid off. I think he weighed the fact that the quick fix was going to trigger regardless. The master plan hadn't triggered yet, and we also had the rescue in graveyard, so there really was no... I mean, our card advantage was crazy. Plus, we had the Called By and the DD Crow. He didn't know about those yet. So, our card advantage would have been, honestly, kind of on par with his. And he can only activate the Tri-Brigades each once per turn anyway. So, if we had stopped him just enough, his turn was effectively dead. He already lost his Karis, which is one of the best extenders in the Tri-Brigade, because he had to special summon it. Decided not to take the Maxx C challenge. But, like I said, I really do not recommend taking the Maxx C challenge. That was a fluke that it worked. But 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work. Now, this is, again, another suboptimal Spiral hand. But we at least do have access to the engine. We're going to give him the reasoning because the Shaddoll Fusion may be protected by a Magical Meltdown, which then we wouldn't be able to Ash. So if we give him the reasoning, then we can at least still Ash. So we know it's a spell card. We're going to call spell cards. He's playing a 60-card deck, so he may have Grass's Greener in his hand as well, too. Now, the downfall to this is we don't have quick fix. So, getting into our ideal combo is harder with this hand, and it's not as flashy. We also really don't have a way into the Appaloosa consistently enough. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to search here. We're going to have to search the rescue. And we're going to have to use the Apprentice Illusion to go into the Appaloosa. So we're going to summon the Apprentice Illusion here, pitching the rescue. Because I don't want to use the big red. I want to make that very clear. I don't want to use the big red. Because it's follow-up for next turn. Whereas the rescue is just a general, you know, Monster Reborn type effect. I mean, maybe the big red is better here than using the rescue for the most part. But we don't necessarily have to end on the double helix in this circumstance. So I could always big red summon out the master plan, which might be better overall. And then keep the rescue in there as a quick play. So adding the sleeper, searching the resort. activating the resort. Searching the last resort. Now, this is where it gets a little wonky. We're going to have to big red here. Summoning out the master plan. And we're going to search the assault. So that we can draw a card if we pop something off the sleeper. Summon the sleeper. Banishing 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, unfortunate. It's unfortunate this is the play we have to make, but it is the play we have to make. And the Apprentice is going to get shuffled back as the maintenance cost. So we've got the Ash. We've got 6 forms of interruption. It's not the greatest board. It's also very fragile. But if we can survive through this turn, then we at least have follow-up for next turn, and then we realistically win. Because we can search the Quik-Fix, extend further. Feather Duster. Oh, no. Ugh, alright. Not ideal. That's fine. We have not lost yet. We still have the 3... Yeah, Reasoning. Okay, so Reasoning is going to be met with Ash Blossom. We set that up specifically. If Master Plan, again, leaves the field too, by, and sent to the graveyard, we'll get the Resort plus another Spiral monster, which could get us the Quik-Fix anyway. He's playing 60-card Witchcrafter. Okay. And we're going to stop his turn right here. He's going to chain the Jenny, pitching a spell card to summon a Witchcraft. I guess he's not. Master Plan is triggered because it's sent to the graveyard from field. And we're going to have the Super Agent and the Resort. Left Arm Offering. Banishing his entire hand to add a spell card from the deck. So he's going to add the... Oh, no. He's adding that Grass Looks Greener. Oh, no. He's going to Foolish Burial 25 cards here. Oh, yikes. Okay, so what he said. Droplets. Shaddoll Dragon. What else does he have in here first and foremost? Shmeta. Beast just lets him draw a card. He's got a Holiday in here. Yeah, we can afford to negate that. Now, reason being, he's used his normal summon already, but I understand Witchcrafter is enough that... Here's the deal. The Hane does nothing. The Shmeta can can banish itself to Foolish Burial any Witchcrafter card, which doesn't really do anything either. So we can negate that freely, knowing that. And then the Jenny, the card we just popped, can banish itself to target a Witchcrafter spell card in the graveyard to copy its effect. So he's got a Monster Reborn in there. In the Holiday. This is going to have to draw and discard. That's fine. Yeah. He thought we were going to bait the... Yeah, so here we negate the Jenny. I'll tell you what, that Royal Rare Ecclesia is really nice. So he's in a lot of trouble, actually. And we've got the Rescue. So we're going to Rescue, summon back the Master Plan. This way we can link it off. And by linking it off, we can search another field spell and another Spiral monster. Because the Appaloosa is dead now. So we're going to have the Tough. We can go for game for the most part. Going to use the Master Plan effects to search the other rescue. So we're out of Spiral missions now. And we're going to go Assault here. We're going to summon out the Tough. And we're going to link off the Appaloosa, the Master Plan, and the Tough into a Selene. So then we can go into Access Code Talker. Two plus monsters. Can this not be used? Yes. There we go. That was weird. I've never seen that happen before. Where it makes you select the spellcaster monster. So Selene's going to trigger. Master Plan's going to trigger. And he scoops. He saw what was going to happen. Because even Access Code plus Sleeper alone is enough for OTK. So we didn't have to do anything else. Negated everything we had to after taking an evaluation. Didn't want him drawing a card because then he potentially gets the access to Golden Lord. Which then we can't pop because Golden Lord is indestructible after it's special summoned from the hand by its own effect. So we negated the Witchcrafter cards that mattered because they activated in the graveyard. So the Appaloosa is not threatened by anything because he uses normal summon. He's got no cards left in hand. So that's why that was okay to play that way. And it actually worked out that our hand was kind of wonky. You know, it gave us just enough. The Ash Blossom was the icing on the cake. And this is another really weird hand. Okay. You know. Reality is that, again, this is another one of those hands where we're not guaranteed full combo, depending on which way we play it. I mean, we could have gone Drone's effect, set the deck the way we wanted to, then used Resort to search Super Agent, special summoning that, then going into Helix. So I guess, you know, I'm not going to lie. It is full combo for the most part. The immediate play that I saw was to use the Where Arf Thou to get the Magician Souls to hand. So then we can go Drones, you know, summon the Magician Souls, then go Spiral Super Agent. This way we can send the Resort to hand. I mean, from field to grave to draw a card and potential. But, you know, if all of that goes unchecked, you know, and he doesn't have the Ash for the Resort, then it is full combo if you consider it that way. So we're going to play one more game for the evening. Just going to try to get to Plat 2. I'm going to be playing this throughout the week at different times just because of the nature of I missed a couple streams over the weekend because I was out with family. So we're going to do some makeup streams. Tomorrow we're going to be, or not tomorrow, actually maybe tomorrow depending if I can get on. If not, Wednesday night we're going to be playing Birds again. I've got an updated list strictly to go second that I have in mind. I like it a lot, so we can talk about that on Wednesday night. So if you guys want to tune in then, let me know. Birds is the deck that I'm known for on the Master Duel Discord. If you guys haven't already joined that, I highly recommend it. I can put a link to join in the video description. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the content tonight. So off the bat, we have combo, but it's at the cost of sending a form of interruption to the graveyard a little early on here. So we could go Magician Souls, sending the Master Plan, and then pitching the drones off the 1-for-1 to summon out the Quik-Fix, to then search the big red. So we're going to do that. The other play would have gone drones, summon it, use the effect, summon the Quik-Fix anyway by pitching the souls. So we're doing it vice versa here. It was going to be met with an Ash either way. it really didn't matter what the order was because we were still going to lose the ability to full combo here, which is, again, unfortunate. So we get ashed here. Had we gone drones 1 for 1? No, we still wouldn't have been able to full combo. And we can't search the Recital Starling, you know, because we already have the DD Crow in hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to Link Revo. We're just going to play this really safe. Pray that the Maxx C gets us the cards we need. And we have at least the DD Crow as Interrupt. But knowing my luck tonight, this will be something like Eldritch that will not care about the Maxx C and, you know, barely cares enough about the DD Crow. So we're going to see what's going on here. We're going to make sure we're only chaining the Maxx C to a guaranteed summon so we can get full value out of it. It's Virtual World. Okay. Sure. So he's going to set Chuche or the Qinglong from the deck. So there's the Chuche. Chuche, shuffle 2 banish cards back into your deck. Pop a card on the field. We're going to chain to the Maxx C here. Here's the reality. He could probably OTK us. Yeah, he could definitely OTK us. We're going to play one more. I don't want to end on a bad note. There was genuinely no way to play around that. Alright, that's unfortunate. So, wonky hand once again. Like I said, guys, I really do think that this deck it's good, but it does have the potential to brick because of the hits that have been applied to it throughout the ban list over the course of its lifespan in Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, it was hit immediately on 2 weeks after release. Konami said the deck is too powerful when Double Helix came out, so they hit it immediately after Double Helix dropped. And it's struggled to find its place here and there. Magician Souls brought it back into the meta for a short while, but then the deck fell out of favor because it started getting power crept on top of some additional hits. So right off the bat, we're going to Resort here. Resort's going to get us the Quik-Fix. Quik-Fix will enable us to get some additional value off the Magician Souls. This is going to be met with an Ash Blossom here, which is actually best case scenario for us. So then we can just activate the other SPYRAL Resort because it's not a hard once per turn. So long as you can keep activating SPYRAL... Yeah, so here's the Ash. And this is what makes this whole deck nuts, is that none of these SPYRAL cards are once per turn, or hard once per turn, with the exception of Sleeper and the exception of Super Agent. Those are the only 2 cards that are hard once per turn. And the Master Plan, sorry. The Master Plan effect is send when it's sent from field to graveyard. Everything else is a soft once per turn, which means so long as you can activate another card with that same name, you can use the effect. So same thing here, Quik-Fix. We're still going to get the Quik-Fix. I think this guy realizes he's in trouble now. So we're going to send the Master Plan here because Quik-Fix can search the... what do you call it? The Big Red to then summon the Master Plan from graveyard. The downside to that is that we don't have the guarantee of Double Helix successfully summoning. But actually, I take that back. Whoa. The Master Plan here, when it hits the graveyard, will guarantee that we get the Super Agent, which will then get us exactly what we need. Ignore what I just said. Ignore what I just said. It is late. I'm not even. I'm moving a mile a minute in my head right now. That was a mistake on my end to say that. So we're gonna Souls here. Souls on the Rescue and the Big Red. Draw 2 cards. 1 for 1, another Maxx C. Cool. So we're gonna Master Plan here and Quik-Fix on the summon of Double Helix. We're gonna use the Master Plan effect to search the last resort in the deck and the Super Agent instead of searching the Sleeper, because the Super Agent will guarantee that we get the Double Helix full effect, and the Resort can search the Sleeper. Cubics, okay. So we know it's a trap card. I want a drones here. I'm gonna rearrange the top, the order of his deck. That's the critical part, and we're also gonna get the DD Crow here, which is pretty nice. Foolish Burial Goods, Fusion Deployment, Cubic Ascension. We're gonna give him the Foolish Burial Goods because the Cubic Ascension we don't want to pop. So we're gonna use the Quik-Fix here. Quik-Fix pitching the Super Agent. Using the Magician Souls and the Quik-Fix to summon out the Recital Starling. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why did I give him the Foolish Burial Goods? Reason being, I know I'm going to get the Recital Starling here, so anything he sends to the graveyard is just going to be immediately met by the DD Crow, and he's realizing that now. He's not realizing that. He doesn't realize what we're going to do here, but that's the play that we would have gone. And so what he could have sent was he could have sent Cubic Karma. He could have sent the Cubic Ascension anyway off the Foolish Burial Goods. And the moment he does that, like I said, it's just going to be met with the DD Crow, which then will hinder his plays. He's still going to be playing under the Appaloosa and the Sleeper anyway because he clearly doesn't have any form of disruption. So that was a super winnable game. Not for him, but for us. And I guarantee 100% we would have won. So I want to look at his deck just to see if my suspicions were correct about this. I don't think he had the means to really stop us. No, and he's also playing a 51 card deck, which is not good for consistency, especially because he's not playing any draw power. So we're just gonna ignore that. And on that, guys, I'm gonna call that for a night. I'm gonna go over the deck list one more time, just for those who have stuck around to the end. So looking at the Spiral deck again, I wouldn't claim this to be the most optimal deck, but the deck list is pretty standard. You need the 3 Magician Souls if you want to play this deck at a high efficiency with a high win rate. Reason being, the Magician Souls can send the extra spell and trap cards you have to draw cards, and those cards could be more forms of interruption or cards to extend further. So, as you saw in this last game and a handful of games tonight, we're sending cards like the Rescue, which is a monster reborn from the graveyard. You banish it, special summon, a Spiral card from your graveyard. And it helps you extend further. It helps you play through Nibiru. So, you saw the introduction in the beginning. I'm just going to go through the names one more time because I'm fairly tired myself. But I'm going to type up the full deck list for those who don't have the ability to keep pace, or, perhaps, things are... I'm moving a bit too fast. The full deck list will be in the description of the video tomorrow when it goes up on YouTube. So keep an eye out for that. And like I said, I will be streaming later this week. Playing the Bird deck and possibly more of the Drytron deck, since we had a lot of fun with that. I may also go back to Striker, depending on if I can build this optimally, because the last time we played, we weren't playing it optimal. So keep that in mind if you like the Striker deck. So going to go through this. We're playing 1 DD Crow, the 1 Spiral Quik-Fix because that's what it's limited at, the 3 Spiral Gear Drone because it's another card that we can continuously search off the Quik-Fix. It also enables us to get into our combo because it will rearrange the order of the top of our opponent's deck, which is critical to the strategy. Playing the 3 Magician Souls because it's not only an extender, but it is also draw power in the deck, and this deck can brick, as you saw in a handful of games. So there were a couple times when Magician Souls saved our ass. There were a couple times where it actually kind of hurt us because we drew into cards we didn't need in that moment. We play the 3 Maxx C and the 3 Ash Blossom to deter our opponent from really playing. It also is a form of interaction that can help us win. It's crazy. These 2 cards are meta defining, they're game defining. They've been staples ever since their release. Maxx C is banned in the TCG. If you have access to these cards, you have to play them. There's no doubt in my mind about it. You have to play these 3 cards. The 3 Super Agent, he is the star of the deck. There are cards that want to be him in the deck, aka the Tough, which we play at 1, and the Double Helix, which also steals his name when it's on field or in the graveyard. So the deck revolves around Super Agent, especially Quik-Fix, being able to special summon itself from the graveyard by discarding a card if you control a Super Agent. So Super Agent is critical to the deck. He's also just good spell trap removal if you call the effect correctly, or if you summon him off an effect like Big Red, Rescue, or even the Double Helix. So we talked about it. Tough can pop any card on the field if it's if you call the type correct. It's really good for going second, clearing potential threats. You know, continuous spells or traps, you know, set cards. Tough is really good for that. We play the one Resort because it guarantees that the Sleeper will be unaffected by just about anything with the exception of non-targeting removal, aka Nibiru, aka Zeus. The Apprentice Elusive Edition is in the event that we brick and we open the Spiral Master Plan, we can't send that to trigger the Magician's Souls to special it from the hand. We have to send something from the deck. So we played 2 level 6 or higher spellcasters to guarantee that we have something to always send out the Magician's Souls. So we play the Master Plan, not only for that reason, there were a couple times this evening where we used the effect for that reason, but the Master Plan is the penultimate card you want to summon off the double helix. It will not only search you a Spiral Mission, which as you saw are extenders, but it will search you the field spell and a Spiral Monster simultaneously. It is the bread and the butter of the deck. It is the main play off the double helix to then link into, say, Appaloosa or the Nightmare Unicorn if you're going second. You know, it's crazy. The Sleeper is the final end board piece. It is the boss monster of the deck. It is a pop 2 while also trying to simultaneously pop a card on your side of the field, but it has to have Spiral in its name. So with that, coupled with the Last Resort, the Sleeper can safely attempt to pop itself, not destroying itself, but then also still popping 2 cards your opponent controls, or 1 card your opponent controls. So it's up to 2. But the summoning condition is you have to banish 3 Spiral cards from your graveyard. That's not hard to do after you do the full combos you have seen, you know, as you saw throughout the video. With that, we're playing other extenders, other good consistency cards like Foolish Burial, which can send the Quik-Fix, or the Master Plan at a pinch. Also cards like Reinforcing the Army, which will search your Super Agent or your Tough. Cards like Terraforming, which search the most insane field spell in the game, which is SPYRAL Resort. Cards like 1-for-1, which will special summon out the drones or the Quik-Fix. And Where Arf Thou, which gets you what you don't already have. You know, let's say you summon the Magician's Souls, you can go Where Arf Thou, search the Quik-Fix, and so on and so on. Or you can go Quik-Fix, you know, search a big red, then go Where Arf Thou, summon out, you know, add the Magician's Souls to hand. Big red, again, it's a premature burial for the deck. It'll special summon a Spiral Monster from the graveyard. And then Big Red is also a really good card to send off Magician's Souls to draw a card, because the card that it's equipped to will not be sent to the graveyard if you remove the Big Red from the field. SPYRAL Resort, we've talked about, is the best field spell, one of the best field spells Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever produced. I think it is the best field spell in the game, period. The opponent cannot target other Spiral cards to control card effects. That's the biggest thing here, because now Sleeper is triple protected. Okay? And then once per turn, and it's not a hard once per turn, it's a soft once per turn. So long as you can keep activating Spiral Resorts, you can keep adding Spiral Monsters. Once per turn, add a Spiral Monster from your deck to your hand. So that gets you extenders, it gets you the combo pieces, it gets you whatever you need. And then during the end phase, you have to pay a maintenance cost, and that maintenance cost is simply shuffling back a monster that can legally go to the main deck back into the deck. Not too hard to pay. We play the Assault because it's an extender. It special summons a Spiral Monster from the hand if you banish it from the graveyard. If you pop a card on the field with a Spiral card effect, you draw a card. It's pretty cool. You played it 1, otherwise it's kind of a brick. You play 2 Call by the Grave to stop your opponent from hitting you with cards like Maxx C or Ash. You can also play it to deal with stuff like Lancia, which would prevent you from extending, as well as summoning the Sleeper. If you have it going first and your opponent has nothing, it's just a really good card to set. It can totally disrupt your entire opponent's turn, as you'll see against one of the Tri-Brigade players we played. I banished his Nerval. It was GG from there. The Utility Wire is a searchable compulse for any card on the field. It will put it on the top of the deck. This way you know exactly what you're calling next turn to activate your Spiral effects. And then, like we said, Rescue. Rescue, if you set it as a continuous trap card, it targets the Spiral, adds it to your hand. You know, that's okay. But the real MVP of it is you can banish it, target a Spiral card, Spiral Monster in your graveyard, special summon it. That is the real thing that's so great about it. It is a quick play monster reborn in the graveyard. It's wild. We play Princess Sprite because it's a consistency booster. It takes 2 level 1 monsters, aka your Quik-Fix, your Magician's Souls, your drones, your Quik-Fix, etc. You detach an XYZ material, likely your Quik-Fix, so you can use its effect in the graveyard. Excavate the top card of your deck. If it's a spell or trap, add to your hand. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. You're okay with Foolish Burial cards so long as it's not the Sleeper. The Sleeper is the only card you cannot afford to Foolish Burial. And as you saw, it happened to us once. It was not pretty. Recital Starling is so you can search the DD Crow. It's really simple to make. 2 2+ level 1 monsters. Assembled Nightingales to summon the Zeus. We didn't summon Zeus tonight, but it's there in the event that you have to. It is just really good utility. Zeus, I don't need to explain at this point. You guys have seen it countlessly in videos. Zeus is insane. It's at 1 for a reason. Link Revo is also just a really nice card as protection. It'll also link off a Magician's Souls or drones that's kind of dead on the field. You don't want to leave small attack monsters on the field in this meta, and the Link Revo thankfully has the battle phase ability to distribute itself, make something 0. So you can protect your board with the Link Revo, in other ways. Double Helix is your primary combo starter. It takes 2 Spiral monsters. It becomes Super Agent on field or in the graveyard. And again, it has the effect. You declare a card type, monster, spell, or trap, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. If you called it right, you get a Spiral monster either added to your hand or special summoned to a zone it points to. 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the master plan. The other time, it's going to be the quick fix. All depends on what you have access to. We play the Nightmare package just because it's good spot removal. Nightmare Cerberus pops a card in the main monster zone by discarding a card. Nightmare Phoenix pops a spell or trap card by discarding a card. Nightmare Unicorn shuffles a card back by discarding a card. Really good spot removal. We play Selene because the deck has a lot of spellcasters. You have the ability to go into access code rather consistently, going second. We play it for that reason. We summoned it once tonight. The guy scooped immediately upon seeing it. I think he saw the access code coming a mile away. So we didn't get a full chance to go into the access code, but it would have been GG had we done so. He scooped anyway, so we won. Boral Sword is another game ender. Another card we didn't summon tonight. The best time, if you go back and you watch the full video, that we could have summoned the Boral Sword would have been against the Adagnister player, but the Call by the Grave was enough to win. So the Boral Sword didn't come up a ton tonight because often we did the full combo and we just won anyway. Appaloosa is part of the full combo. You summon the Appaloosa to protect the Sleeper and your board. The board is very susceptible to Nibiru without her, because Nibiru is a non-target removal that will clear the Sleeper. It won't trigger Sleeper's effect to nuke the board, which can happen, as you saw once, but it is really good. Appaloosa is just a very good generic extra deck monster. You should pick it up regardless if you plan on playing in this deck or not, because it's not going anywhere. It is insane. Anytime a card just says negate monster effects anywhere, it has to be played, in my opinion. And then access code is one of the penultimate game enders. It can't be responded to if it's successfully summoned. We play a lot of different attribute link monsters, so realistically access code can be banishing 2, maybe even 3 cards a turn. So it's just really good game ender. It beats over cards like Adagnister Arrival, which we didn't see summoned against us in the Adagnister matchup tonight, but it's a really strong card. And it's one of 2 ways we can deal with it, is Boral Sword and the Access Code Talker. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. I'm going to type this up and put it in the description of the video once again. And I hope you guys tune in throughout the week as we start doing more and more deck testing, deck tutorial, live gameplay guides. I know you guys have been liking these videos on YouTube. The Twitch has been a little bit less active, but as long as you guys are liking the content on YouTube, I'm going to continue doing it. So let me guys know if you want to see me play a particular deck. Like I said, the lineup for this week is going to be playing the Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade deck again. It may be playing the Striker deck again or the Drytron deck, depending on what the feedback is. But let me know in the comments section what you guys are feeling. And I'll see you guys later this week.